What is up, everybody on YouTube? Welcome aboard. Okay, we're good. Had to undo my my noise canceling. Anyway, about to go live on TikTok as I do. Here we go. Let's get it. I am running a little late. Run war. All right, let us do this. And what is up, everybody? It's your boy, the Liberal Loudmouth, and we are back again for some more action. We are live a little bit late. That's okay. Do what I want. Fuck everybody else. All right. We are late, but we are live. Booyah! What's up? What's up? Josh, welcome in. Welcome in. The Old Wolf is in the house. What's up, Old Wolf? What's up, everybody? Come on in. Come on in. We're just getting started, so start doing your thing. Tap the screen. Do all that good stuff. We need to get to 10K before 10 minutes, really. So if you guys are going to be hanging out, just start tapping the screen. Just get me right here. Let's see them hearts a going. I see the hearts a coming. They're coming around the bend. I ain't seen sunshine since I don't know when. All right, now I'll bring up my alts. And we're ready to rock and roll. What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, I'm going to let people filter in. Got some, the ceasefire is apparently done. And, shit's doing what shit's going to do, I guess. And in my opinion, we are losing this battle. OPEC starting to break off. I mean, lots of things going on. And what it means for you is that you're going to pay more at the pump for a long time. It's going to be a long time that this is going to continue. Yo, what's up? Have you heard any updates on a vote post the 60-day? I don't know what that means, yo. Care to elaborate? Let's see. Oh, we already got some people wanting to come up. Sweet. We'll just get it started early. Chase, Wolf, and Hasim. What's up, y'all? Y'all's and yuns. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
So what brings you up?
Great. Well, the subject, it's, do we believe Iran or the U.S.? Iran, why should they lie about it? We jumped them. They've been waiting for us to jump them for over 30 freaking years.
Yep.
Do they have a right to defend themselves? If they get attacked, hell yeah. My opinion.
Yeah, and see, now they just hit they hit the UAE's about 7 hours ago. They hit the UAE's major exporting area. Fujairah, I think is what it's called. Let me show this this oil refinery, which is interesting because the UAE just left OPEC, or at least announced that they were going to leave OPEC. Fujairah oil refinery on fire following Iranian drone attack. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And and they left saying that they didn't want to have those quotas because when you're in OPEC, you have to, you're restricted. If they want to produce less oil in order to fuck somebody, if they want to, they do that. It's just collusion, really. It's like a monopoly on global oil. So UAE said, fuck you. And then their exporting facility gets hit. It's kind of ironic, I guess. Anyway, who was that talking just a second ago? Was that Wolf?
That was me.
Yeah. Chase, what say you, man?
How you doing? Well, I was just thinking about, I was thinking about the fact that, and I'm curious to ask other folks too, if they have a similar experience. Does anybody else up until, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago, not even really notice Israel? How quiet was, I maybe I'm just behind. Maybe, but my whole life, I in the last year, 2 years, when is it that all of a sudden everybody realized myself included, Israel has America by the balls.
Israel's had America by the balls for years.
I've known this
for years. I'm sure it's been way longer than I know. I'm sure that now that you do the history, you look at the assassination of JFK, and you're like, huh, and you go way back there. How is it that I don't know? It would never seem so public. The public resistance against
How
Israel
old are
has
you?
never been stronger. 39.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 43, and my entire life I've known that Israel was a problem. Now, of course, in my 20s, I didn't really understand, like, why do they always say that people hate these people? Why? And so you start looking into it, and then you start realizing, okay, I could see why.
I was raised conservative, so that might have a lot to do with
it. That's probably why. But yeah, it's they've been a problem for. Because every couple of years you'd see they were fighting again, and when you understand the history of how they came to be, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put those two together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I must have been living in a bubble for such a long time, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, it's now becoming a thing where I think that hopefully the right is also seeing the issue, and I think they might be seeing it more than ever. I think that the public
are, but I'll just say you more often on the right you get where they hate Jewish people just because they're bigots.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
I see a lot of that on that side, but then you gotta. Well, do you hate them just because they're not like
what
you?
What place are you coming from? Right. What place are you coming from?
Versus from you're attacking these people and you've taken over our country. Some of them don't even believe that that's true, but they just hate them because they're Jewish, which is fucked up. That's really shitty. Yeah. But because they'll give Zionists a pass too. They don't necessarily.
It's all tied up with Zionism, and when you look that direction, and you find out that this actually is just a righteous crusade, it becomes really obvious what the hell's going on. Anybody that says that God is on my side,
right, or that you're the chosen
big
person.
Red flag.
Yeah. Hassan, what's up? And guys in the comments, let's get to tapping. We need to get to 10K. So if you're watching and you want this show to continue, let's tap. I have a gifting goal up. The quicker that we hit those gifting goals, the better it pushes us out. And if I can't get that within the next, 10, 20 minutes, I'm just going to shut it down. I'll come back later, I guess. Hassan, what's up?
What's up, Liberal? How you doing, man?
Doing fine. Yeah, to chase this question, did you have a response to that?
Other than I fully, wholeheartedly agree with him and with the fact that, because here's the thing, like, they make all these
Thank you,
claims,
Brianna.
They make all these religious claims that entitle them for certain things, for certain assets, yet they also claim to be secular, non-religious, and then when you really look into it, everything that they guilt trip the world for, and everything that they claim was taken away from them, or the oppression they suffered, they have been more than compensated for it. They have been more than reprehended for it. When the rest of the world, groups of people who suffered the same oppression, who went through the same kind of hate and racism, they did not get anything. I don't know if I think it was another live I was at, where somebody said it's the Palestinian people that they feel entitled and they want things. They demand things. It's 2026 and Palestine has just been recognized as a state. When in the 70s, in the last 80 years, they went from being the most oppressed people in the world to literally controlling the economy of the world, the tech firms.
Right. Which also calls that whole thing into question in the first place. Like, there were things moving behind the scenes even while they were getting shit on. Because certainly they were mistreated,
Yeah.
and
Like,
I'm not going to deny
I'll land
that.
with
But
this point. Look, I'll land with this point, host. Can you give me a comparison, or like if we were to analyze Islamophobia with anti-Semitism, right? Today, in the last 20 years, 25 years, since the war on theism in the Middle East started till today, if you were to compare that to the last 2 to 3 years in the United States and how there were bills passed, laws passed, more than 30 states now have laws for anti-Semitism that are considered against the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. It's insane. Why?
I think I missed some of that. My apologies.
I can speak to that. I think. I mean, like, it is insane. There is. What my mind is blown. If I were a child living in Palestine and I saw the horror around me, there's no more certain guarantee to radicalize a person against another country.
Exactly, Chase.
They were
Thank you
attacked, bombed over and over. And how is it that I mean, I know that Israel knows this. They know they're creating the next generation of people to hate Israel, to fight against Israel.
Well, they need them because they have to play victim. That's their that's their ace in the hole. That
And that's not just a
everybody
theory.
that fucking shit. Like, well, when you go around and you take over everything and you treat people like shit, and you engage in all this subterfuge that they do, of course people are not gonna like that. Like, who the fuck would?
But to Chase's point, there's an arguing point that the Zios always use, which is look at how the H group in Gaza is recruiting these children. It's using people under 18 years old. They're using them they're radicalizing them, etc., etc., etc. No, who told you they're recruiting them? These kids are joining because they have no other option, because you left them with no other choice. You backed them up into a corner. You unalived literally the whole lineage of their family. And now you have more orphans in Gaza than anywhere else in the whole entire world. So you expect these kids to promote peace and to promote equal rights between them and the Israelis? How? What sense does that make?
It makes no sense at all. Now Iran. I mean, I know we're talking about Israel, but we've got now where the United States and Iran have been lobbying back and forth. I guess Trump was like, we're going to help these people navigate through here, and Iran's like, no, bitch, and start attacking these ships. And of course, Trump comes out and tries to pretend like it's not happening. But it's happening. I mean, we're seeing the ships. A South Korean ship, in fact, was just hit like yesterday. And then Trump comes out immediately and he's trying to get them on board with what he's trying to do. He uses them being attacked because of what he did to try and like force their hand. And they're like, no, we're not going to engage in this. I don't even know why that they tried to get through the strait in the first fucking place. So like, this is going to benefit absolutely nobody. It's going to hurt the United States. It's going to fuck up, it's going to be so expensive to get gas before too long. I mean, you're $5 plus on average. It's coming. Brent crude is up over $120 now. Crazy.
And Trump is making those statements. It's not just American citizens that are hearing him speak. He's speaking, and the whole world stage, the international stage, is listening. Americans might believe the bullshit that come out of Trump's mouth, but nobody else in the entire world believes him. Nobody else in the entire world looks at what the American government states.
By now, you got to be pretty thick to believe what Trump says. But you're right. There is still a lot of people in America that do believe, that just blindly follow Trump and what he says.
And you just can't, because he does nothing but lie. I mean, Grunkle, and maybe I don't know if you're still supporting Trump or not, but like Do you recognize that the guy lies all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that not infuriating? Because you voted for Trump, right? If I remember right, you were up here the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Correct.
you did vote for Trump? Because I may be getting you confused with somebody else.
No, you're right. I did.
Yeah. And does it infuriate you when you see this guy come out and it's like, oh, they haven't attacked any of our ships. We haven't lost any ships. And then it turns out, yeah, they did. Oh, they did barely any damage. Turns out they obliterated all of our military bases. Like, does that not annoy the shit out of you? Like, what do you do about that? You know?
They obliterated all our military bases.
In that region, yes. We're talking probably more than $1 trillion in damage.
I hadn't heard that.
It's true.
Yeah, they fucked our shit up, and he tried to cover it up, just like the soldiers. He tries to claim that we haven't had that many that have been. They were like, we got video of them, like, striking our bases with the troops there, and they were sent into harm's way, and they were all pissed about it because, like,
And
they don't
to
even
add
know
to
what's
that,
going on.
And to add to that, host,
Okay.
he also claims to have annihilated the uranium enrichment capabilities a year ago. He claimed to have devastated the navy of Iran when Iran still has control over the Hormuz. He claims
Crazy.
to have devastated their what's it called, the air defense systems when they have managed to
Right.
successfully take down a couple of our aircraft. So everything he's saying has been proven to be a lie. And this is not the first
Constant.
time the American government have lied to its people. We have seen the same kind of lies,
But not to
during
this
Iraq.
level. You know what I mean?
Not with this audacity. At least they
this
used
is
to
a
put some
first.
effort
Yeah.
with the excuses. Like they used to put some effort in making it a moral excuse back then
Right.
in the early 2000s, right? But now it's like, I'm gonna go and kidnap this president. I don't care what anybody says. Like now they're
And now they're
we don't-
threatening Cuba. He's threatening to put, military in Cuba and to take Cuba down. What
So
the
the
fuck are
question
we
is-
doing? And why?
Yes, how is it that
like-
we're moving backwards?
Like Grunkle, I know you supported Trump, but like all of the things he's doing will have one outcome, and that is the entire world will look at us as Germany was looked at during World War II. That's the outcome. I see no other outcome here. Do you understand that? Does that concern you at all? Grunkle?
I understand your point of view. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
So, how do you think that the world won't turn and look at us as, basically as Germany was looked at?
I think Trump is eventually going to be put on Mount Rushmore, actually, because of all the things he's doing right now.
Oh, come on.
In other
I don't
words,
even give a shit about Mount Rushmore any damn way. That's not even, the federal government needs to leave that land alone any fucking way. And for the record, there are indigenous protests going on right now because he's trying to open up these indigenous lands for drilling. And these people want them to stop. And Donald Trump isn't going to stop. He doesn't give a fuck about anything but, turning a dollar for himself and his family. Destroy everything for your own benefit.
like you can put it in other words and ask the question: since Donald Trump took over, or for example, 3 years ago, and today, if we were to say, was America better off 3 years ago than it is today? In your opinion, Grunkle? Like, as far as the world stage goes, the world public opinion on America, like, were
Could
we
you
better?
repeat your question? I didn't follow it.
So America's reputation, as far as economy, as far as politics, as far as the superpower of the world, the reputation of America, was it better 3 years ago than it is today, or is it better today than it is 3 years ago? Did we make more enemies, or did we make more allies in the last 3 years?
Depends on, better. Depends on how you define better. It was certainly different.
So
I'll
again,
go with you that far.
have we made more enemies than allies in the last 3 years, or have we made more allies than enemies?
I don't know. Do you have a study you can point to where we made more enemies than friends, or some kind of verification on that claim?
Okay, here's how I would explain that.
I mean, that's your claim.
Okay,
Could you verify that
Iran-
claim, please, before
America
I answer?
okay. Look, here are the facts. America has put sanctions on Iran for the last 40 years. America has also put sanctions on Russia for the last 40 years. If we were to compare the relationship between Russia and Iran and the relationship between America and Russia, or America and Iran, we would realize that Russia and Iran are more of allies economically and politically than America is with either one of them. So now you have managed to unify your enemies or your competitors on the seat of the superpower. You have managed to unify even the Iranian people themselves when they did not want that oppressive regime. When America claimed to come and rescue them, they understood that that was absolutely false, and now they're betting on their government, which is an oppressive government. They're betting on them, protecting them from the American bombs that are falling on them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what it is that we're talking about at this moment. I may have gotten lost somewhere. Grunkle, did you understand his point? I was doing some housekeeping in the comments, so forgive me.
I mean, I can summarize
So
it.
he's made another claim that the Iranian people are more in support of their government now than they ever have been.
Yeah, he's
I'd like a little verification
pro-Palestinian.
on
As a
that claim as well before I answer.
As a pro-Palestinians should support IRGC. Everywhere you go, you see that pro-Palestinians support a regime that is oppressing people and killing people and unaliving people. It's amazing that people that are being oppressed by this is not real, this evil regime, are supporting another evil regime in Tehran. I don't understand why the pro-Palestinians are supporting an evil regime in Tehran when they're trying to liberate
who should
from
they
this
support?
evil.
Who should they support?
If they
I
are
never said
if they
I support
want,
the Iranian regime.
one second.
Well,
Don't
hold
put
on,
words in
Hassan.
my mouth,
Sir.
though.
Well, who should
they are-
that's what I want to know. If they can't support, Israel or whatever, they can't support the IRGC. Who are they supposed to support?
No, if they are complaining about this evil regime called Israel that is oppressing them, why are they supporting another evil regime
And
that's
I
oppressing
asked you,
other people?
who are they supposed to support?
They should not be
Their
interfering
government?
in this subject. Why are they? It
Who?
looks very bad when the
Wait,
Palestinians.
who shouldn't interfere?
There's so many wrong things. In
The
what he said.
Well, hold on,
pro-Palestinians should
Hassan.
not
Who
interfere
shouldn't-
in this. Why? What's
you
in it for them?
Palestinians shouldn't interfere with.
Supporting the IRGC. What's in it for them? Why are they
They
supporting
can't do
the IRGC?
Palestinians. What are you talking about, dude? They don't have
This guy here,
anything
this guy-
that. No. Palestinians verbalizing that they support Iran defending itself. They have no
No, they're
power
supporting
structure. They have no
IRGC.
way
They're not-
of supporting them. They have no way of supporting them. How are they going to support them? They don't have airports because Israel
Here
won't allow
on
it. They
TikTok,
don't have
on TikTok.
ports.
On TikTok.
So, what are you talking about? Are you saying that Hassan is a Palestinian in Palestine? Hassan,
No,
are you
he's
a
a pro-
Palestinian
he's
in
a-
Palestine?
One
I'm a
second.
Palestinian that is not in Palestine.
He's
Okay.
One second. He's a pro-Palestinian.
Of course, I'm
And as
So?
a pro-Palestinian, he should not interfere in what's happening in Iran because
He's not.
it
How
looks-
is he? How is he? How is
No,
he
he's promoting the idea
Let
that
me
he
respond
wants
to him.
he wants
Let's hear that.
America to stop hitting on IRGC because he prefers
They should
IRGC.
stop. I'm an
He
American.
wants
man,
America
Okay,
to lose.
a beer. I am an American, and I want my government to stop
Of course, to
killing
stop, because
people.
you want Trump to fail.
Host, allow
Because
me
you
to
want,
respond.
you're a
No,
liberal.
I
you
want
Trump to fail.
Donald Trump to
You're willing-
stop
you're willing to
killing
sacrifice
people.
Your country.
Here's the thing. I want Donald Trump to leave Venezuela alone. I want Donald Trump to leave Cuba alone. I want Donald Trump to leave Argentina alone. I want Donald Trump to leave Brazil alone. I want Donald Trump to leave Iran alone. What I want him to do is focus on the American people like he said he was going to do. He said he was going to make America great again. He said that he was going to focus on America, and he's not doing that.
For your success against Trump. You want America to be a loser.
So America becomes a loser if we stop attacking innocent people?
Yes. No, not if we attack. No, if Iran bombed all of our bases.
Wait, guys, you heard it here,
you just
guys.
said yourself.
If we don't bomb elementary schools with girls in it, if we don't bomb elementary schools with girls in it, we lose.
You're doing emotional debate, man. You're doing emotional debate.
Is it a fact? Is it a fact?
Shut your mouth.
Is it a fact? Is it a fact?
No, it's not a fact. No, it's not a fact.
Okay,
We didn't bomb an elementary school and kill over 160 little girls? We didn't do that?
Yeah, when the regime killed over 40,000 people, but you don't give a shit about those people.
Oh, you mean the Mossad agents?
40,000 people.
Do you mean the Mossad agents that were in there to effect a coup? Just like the United States did back in 1953.
The UN just released that they were 40,000 people unalive by the
do as we say,
regime.
not as we do.
But you don't give a shit about them because you hate Trump so much that you're willing to do whatever it takes.
No. Here's what's funny. It's like you guys can't. This entity cannot unalive its people, but we can. That's what Abir is saying. Like, dude is like, we're gonna kill all of you until you stop letting them unalive you and the Mossad agents among you.
For the loss of
Please allow me to sacrifice America because he addressed me and I really
You're right, Hassan. Go ahead,
Hassan.
Thank you guys. Look, Abir, first things first, what's wrong with your point here is the fact that you are comparing Iran and Iran's oppressive regime with an occupation that has been going on for 77 years. Okay, there is
45 years and 77 years, a big deal.
No. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. Iran has a population of 90 million people. If you look into it, okay, there are people from Iran that supports that Iranian regime, whether you like it or not, oppressive or not. You cannot deny.
The minority, minorities support the regime. You're right. I agree with you. The minorities support the regime.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, the Iranian regime, are they from Iran? Are they actual Iranians? The same way that Iranian citizens are actual Iranians, right? I want to just clarify to you why it is wrong to compare what's happening in Iran and their oppressive regime to what's happening in Palestine. And
no, man, I agree with you. One second. I agree with you. I think we should close one eye. We should close one eye to what IRGC is doing to the people in Iran. We should close one eye for the sake of the Palestinian people. We should close an eye and not see the 40,000 people that were killed in Iran. We should close the eye and not see it for the sake of the Palestinian people. I agree with you, man. I go with you. I go with you.
I have no idea what you're saying. What does that mean, close an eye?
We should close one eye or two eyes and not see the killing of the people of the Iranian because it's not helping the Palestinians.
You keep saying the killing of Iranians. Well, hold on, because I need to clarify here. You keep saying the killing of Iranian people. Are you talking about the protesters? Is that what you're referring to?
The protests in January, yeah.
Okay, let's make clear. Let us make very, very clear that Israel and even Mike Pompeo admitted that
UN released a report and say 40,000 people and more. UN.
It's not 40,000, and I'm going to mute you so that I can get this out because what you're doing is spreading misinformation, and I want to make sure that it gets corrected. Israeli agencies sent in Mossad agents into the protests in order to effectuate a coup. Donald Trump admitted that he sent weapons to the, quote, citizens of this country, although we know that they were actually intelligence agents because Mike Pompeo admitted it in a tweet. So what they tried to do was get the people to overthrow their government, and we know know, every government on earth, if the people try and overthrow it, they will shoot and unalive those people. It would happen in America. It's happened before. I mean, look, anytime a protest gets out of control, look at Alex Preddy, for example. Anytime you buck up against any system on earth, any government, they will unalive you. And especially that's true when it's foreign agents infiltrating your country in order to try and overthrow you. That's not the same as protesters being unalived. So the people that Iran actually unalived were foreign assets who were there to try and overthrow the country. And that's a fucking fact, bro. And you don't get to come up here and say they're just unaliving innocent people, because that's not true. Go ahead, Abir.
Oh, go ahead, Abir.
So by UN report, 40,000 and more. I can bring you the report from UN, and I believe the UN. I don't believe anybody just like a liberal on TikTok.
Do you believe Mike Pompeo?
The UN.
Do you believe Donald Trump?
I believe UN report. I believe the Human Rights Organization in UN. That's what I believe.
Do you believe Donald Trump?
People.
Do you believe Donald Trump?
Nobody. I believe UN reports.
Okay, so do you believe the UN when they said that they were committing a genocide? Do you believe
Yes,
the UN that Palestine is a sovereign
100%,
nation?
100%.
Okay,
Yes, I'm
just making sure.
Can I ask him a
I'm a
question?
Just making
pro-Palestinian
sure.
too. I support the Palestinian people, but I think they're doing a bad thing because they're helping the liberals to destroy America and to help IRGC. I think it's a bad thing. I think you guys are destroying America by helping the IRGC. You want
let me ask you a
America to
question.
fail. You want America to lose because you want the IRGC to win.
America has morally failed already. Israel has morally failed. That's what we're on to.
Here's
It
the
has
question.
failed.
Yeah, Chase, you're
Again,
right.
it's morally failed because Trump is the president.
No,
But if Obama
no.
or any other president would do the same thing, you as a hypocrite, you would say America is on the greatest and this and this and that. Come on, man. We know it's all politics, man. It's all bullshit.
Abir.
It's all narrative. It's all depends on like who are you and who you support. Because
Abir.
Trump is doing it, you're taking it. It's a bad thing.
No,
But
no.
if it was Biden was doing it, you would
No.
support him all the
No.
way. That's
No, I
all
wouldn't.
politics.
No, I wouldn't. We're not
Yes,
identity
you would, man.
politicians
Yes,
here.
you would. Yes, you would.
Okay, yeah, you tell me what I would do.
You
Good.
supported
Okay.
you supported Biden when he was giving
And-
weapon to Israel.
And this
Did
is
I?
why
No, I
this
fucking
is
didn't.
why you have to just basically filibuster the conversation
You
and
supported
continue to
Biden
stop
when he
because
said that
you
he's
know
a
that
bad
you're
guy.
wrong,
I
and
don't
it's
support anything, any weaponry to Israel whatsoever. It doesn't matter which political party. I don't support it.
Did you
I think,
support when
I
Biden
think
said he
Israel
was a
should
pilot?
not have the weapons capability that they have. It is ridiculous, and it was given to them by the U.S.
Yeah,
over
you're right.
decades.
They should
So-
not have any weapon. They are surrounded by so many enemies.
who
they
shouldn't
should not
have any weapons? Who?
Israel.
Iran.
They're surrounded by so enemies. They should not have any weapons over there.
Israel, he's saying. Israel should
Oh,
not
he's
have any
talking
weapons.
about. I mean, look, the United States should go in and invade Israel and topple its country.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Let me paint this picture for you, Abir, if it's okay, host. Look, do you, Abir, do you believe that America and the American military is the mightiest military and they're the strongest to ever exist?
Yes, I believe that.
Okay, beautiful. Now, with that being said, when we say a country like Iran that has been sanctioned by the mightiest country on earth, okay, it has been sanctioned for 40 years, all right? Its own people has been oppressed by their government for so long, right? And now America comes and says, we are going to take down this regime and we are going to free the Iranian people. So can you please make it make sense to me? How come the strongest country in the world with the strongest military was not able to free the oppressed people of Iran that have been sanctioned for 40 years, and still till today we have seen the president come out and say this is the Iranian people's chance to free themselves, and then come out 2 weeks later and say I'm going to take this country of Iran back to the Stone Ages. So you see
Again,
the problem?
if you were living in Iran and you were one of those protesters in January that you were on the street and have the bullets coming in next to your head, you would be also afraid to go
I'm glad
out
you brought that
and
up.
protest and to try to bring down the regime. You
Let
would
me-
not want to go out and be unalived on the street.
Yeah, let me show you this, because if a foreign government sends agents into to start a coup, the government has a right to unalive those people. This is Mike Pompeo, very Israeli-centric. This man, the Iranian regime is in trouble. Bringing in mercenaries is its last best hope. Riots in dozens of cities in Basij, under siege, Mashhad, Tehran, Zahedan, next stop, Baluchistan. 47 years of this regime. POTUS 47. Coincidence? Happy New Year to every Iranian in the streets. Also to every Mossad agent walking beside them. And then I can pull up the quote from Donald Trump where he admitted that he sent weaponry to the people who were supposedly protesting.
That's after
we
January.
did.
That's not true.
No, this was
after.
nope. That is not true.
Bring
He sent it to them before, and he said that it got stolen by the Kurds.
Bring the tweet.
And that they never actually got the weapons. Although
the tweet was in March. The tweet was in March, and you were talking about the process.
No. Him saying it may have been after, but he sent it to them before and during the protests back in January. Yes,
I didn't. No,
that's what he said.
Bring the
that's
tweet
what he said. I will, but I know for a fact.
I don't think you will.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this: when I bring this up to prove that during the
I don't think you will.
that he had sent weapons, are you going to change your opinion?
He said he will send the weapon, not he sent.
No, he said that he did send them, but the Kurds stole it. I'm asking you because if you're going to waste my time, I don't care.
No, bring it and I'll show you. Bring it, I'll show you. I'll show you that.
Are you going to correct your position?
I will. He said that he will send.
So you're going to stop going on TikTok and you're going to stop spreading the misinformation that Iran had just unalived its people.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, while I pull this up, guys, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one thing to ask you, Abir. Look,
man, I understand why, guys, as a pro-Palestinian, you need to support the IRGC because you want IRGC to dismantle Israel. I agree with you, but if they will do it,
this is what you're getting wrong.
If they will do it with a nuclear weapon, our brother and sister in Palestine will be wiped.
Sir, this is exactly why I want to talk to you, because this is not what I believe. You are wrong. It's not because I'm pro-Palestinian that I support IRGC, and by the way, I never said that I support the IRGC. Okay.
No, you're against America. You want America to stop because you want IRGC.
Nobody's against America.
You want America to get. You want IRGC to get.
Nobody's against America.
You want America to withdraw.
So you're emotional politics. Right? You're just dealing in emotion.
Sir, host.
Yeah, you're just dealing in emotion. You're just dealing in emotion.
Are you looking for the tweet?
Yes, but I'm sick of hearing people that say that you're against America when we literally want the president of the United States to focus on Americans and to stop going around the world killing people. Why does that make us anti-American?
And
Can you explain that to me?
In other words, like
if you didn't vote for him, just shut down until next election. If you get someone else, then talk about it. But this is our government.
Abir, with your same logic, if you say that just because I criticize Donald Trump that I hate America, hold on, just 1 second, host.
Well, he asked me to prove something, and I'm going to prove it. I'm very upset. Trump says U.S. tried to arm Iranian protesters, but guns were diverted. After earlier blaming the Kurds for taking the guns for themselves, U.S. President says certain group of people will pay a big price for that. That's the Times of Israel.
What was the date?
The reporting was after the fact.
Of course.
Because he did it. I already said that.
For which protest?
Do you see this gaslighting shit? Because I literally already said that it was reported on after, but he tried to send the weapons during and before the protests.
He didn't know
for the protesters. That's what he did because he got with Israel. Israel sent in Mossad agents to get people upset and pissed off. He fucked up their economy to help that along, just like we did in 1953. And then Donald Trump sent weaponry to the people on the ground that they had put there to create a fucking coup. This was all synthetic. It was not a grassroots overthrow of the country. That is a lie that keeps getting perpetrated, and you kept doing it. So now are you going to change your opinion or position because I just proved you wrong?
Yeah, he's on tea time. But
I'm sorry. Am I crazy here? Like,
No,
Not a single bit.
You said you actually explained exactly what he would see before he saw it.
And in his logic, guys, like if we were to use his same logic, by saying that Trump's actions are not right, then in his logic we hate America. Then if the Iranians said that their regime is not right, then do the Iranians hate Iran because they wanna change the regime? I mean, that's the logic he's using, right?
Yeah, we don't do obedience in America. That's not how we roll here. That's we're supposed to have free speech. We're supposed to not have laws against saying something about a government. What kind of a law is it? Do we have that we're not allowed to say something bad about Israel? Huh? What?
Yeah.
Even if they
don't,
bomb
then
the
who
shit
does
out of
it?
innocent people, we're not allowed to say anything bad.
right.
Even if we don't support the fact that all the weaponry that we send goes to Israel to kill innocent people, we're not allowed to speak out against that. Excuse me? What?
If the land of the free and the home of the brave can't speak up against that, then who can? Then who the fuck can?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's into, you know, and I'm so sick of hearing that I'm anti-American because I oppose war and killing people unnecessarily.
No, you want America to lose to Iran because you said that that Iran bombarded so many bases.
Oh, you're back.
And one second.
No. I asked you a question. Could you hear me earlier?
I can hear you. Yes.
You were teacupped, and now that you're back, are you going to change your position?
Again, you never know if the weapons were actually sent for this protest in January. So
He
most of us
said
cannot
that
know
he did. We do know he said it, unless you believe that Donald Trump was lying.
He said he sent it for January for the January protest.
Yes.
He said it?
Yes.
Show me where it says for the January protest.
Look, do you want me to? And once when I show him this, guys, he's gonna. I need video evidence of Donald Trump putting
He doesn't
weapons
say for the
on a
January
plane,
protest because
and then
he
I'm gonna
didn't
need
know-
video evidence of the plane flying
He didn't know they're
over
gonna
to this
protest in
area,
January.
and then I'm gonna need video of them unloading that same thing because it could be AI. And if I provided all of this stuff to him, bro would be like, "That's AI. I don't believe it. That's Iranian propaganda." I'm not gonna do your work for you, Abir. I just proved what you said was wrong. You can do the rest. I'm not your bitch. I ain't your monkey. Go do your fucking due diligence. And if you don't, that's called willful ignorance. And that's a you problem, sir. And I'm not here to fucking teach you how to think, right? That's something you're going to have to work out on your own. Jesus
One
fucking
post from
Christ.
Donald Trump on True Social. One post from Donald Trump would explain to you and give you the evidence that you're looking for. You know, when he said that this is the only opportunity the Iranians will have. Now it is either now or never, and that is when he supplied the weapons to the Kurds, and they turned back and they backfired on him. Like this guy posts on True Social more than anybody else you have ever met. Just go and read his posts. That's all the evidence you need.
Crazy.
Yeah, again, he didn't say. He actually didn't know when the protest is going to start, so there's no way for him to send weapon when he didn't know when the protest is going to start. But again, it's not about this. It's about, I understand your narrative. I understand that you need to
It's
get
not a
him
narrative.
impeached. I know that you're
Thank
trying
you,
to get him
Wiggly.
impeached. I know that you want him down. I want that you want him like that.
Actually, I don't want him impeached, Abir. So, see, look,
yeah,
you come
you do.
up here with these assumptions about people. You're lodging these assumptions. I don't think he should be impeached because he'll just use that to cry and play victim again. And then J.D. Vance, who in my opinion is far fucking worse because he's actually nice. He'll smile in your face and fucking lie to you that way. I think he's a
stab you in
worse
the back.
option. Yeah. Donald
You
Trump
guys
is
want-
doing, at the end of the day, Donald Trump is doing this country a favor by doing what he's doing because he's
just want him
highlighting
to fail. You want him to
all of
fail?
the problems. No, he's doing exactly what I'm
failing. You want him to fail.
The only
Say
good
it. Say
thing
it. We want him
is
to
that
fail.
he's
want him
highlighting
to fail.
all of
Say
the
it.
problems in this country, and he's
Say it. We
forcing
want him to
people.
fail.
He's
Say
forcing
it.
people to acknowledge the problems in this country.
We wish
so
he will fail.
with all of
We
the
wish he
terrible
will fail,
things,
and America with him.
you
Say
just
it.
can't help yourself, can you?
Yeah,
Say it. We
Abir,
wish you
Abir,
will
do you know how
fail.
many times, Abir, do you know how many times you said you just want him to fail? You know how little we fucking
You guys
care that
want
he
him to
fails?
fail because you guys are against him. You want him to fail.
Abir,
No,
you think,
it's
do you
because
think
we're
you're more
against-
American?
we're
You
against
think you're more
violence.
American than Chase? You think you're more American than the host here?
That's crazy.
A lot
Yeah,
more.
he
100%.
probably does.
100%.
He probably that's probably where
Republicans
it's
serve
coming
the
from
bill,
because
serve
he
the
thinks
serve
that-
the country.
Yeah.
Democrats don't serve the country. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, no. Political ideology, like, and just using identity politics.
We are
and
more
saying you're a
nationalists.
liberal,
You guys are
you're a
not
Democrat.
nationalists. You
That's
guys
what's
don't
failing
care
the
about
country.
America.
I am okay. Here's what's funny is I have been portraying more of a nationalist view than you have, sir.
Exactly.
Actually, not at all.
Yes.
You guys,
Yes.
you're willing to
Yeah, he
sacrifice
said that he wants
America
Donald
for the
Trump to
failure
focus
of
on the
Trump.
American people.
That's
You're
right.
That's what
willing
he
to
said.
sacrifice America for the fail of Trump. That's what you are doing.
No,
You know
they're
what?
practicing
You
their
want
First
Trump
Amendment
to
is
rights.
gonna fail
Wild.
They're
give up
practicing
Trump is
their
gonna fail
crazy.
freedom of
regardless.
speech as Americans to have the freedom to criticize their government when their government represents them in the wrong way.
Yes, you
Their
have the
reputation
freedom. You have
as
the freedom.
Americans is on the line on the world stage, sir.
Yeah.
The international world stage is looking at America today based on the actions that Trump is
What
making,
Arab
and
country?
they're putting the 300
Hassan,
million.
what
Hold
Arab
on.
country do you come from? What
Brianna,
Arab
thank
country
you
did
for
come from?
gifting the panelists. Thank you
See,
so
see,
much. To everybody,
didn't-
thank you all for the gifts,
Arab
guys.
country did you
Please,
come from?
please
Abir,
also
what
keep
the-
tapping.
Abir, what
Please
the
keep
fuck does that
tapping the
have to do with
screen. Thank
anything?
you.
It's
Is
Oh,
okay,
that,
Jay.
is that
Wiggly,
also
thank
a
you.
democracy? Is that
I will
also
answer him,
you
Jay.
come from a democracy, Hassan?
Doesn't
Listen
matter.
to me, Abir. You're asking me these questions. Did I ask
Holy
you
shit,
where
thank you,
you come
Wiggly.
from? Because I'm pretty sure you also don't come from America, right? But I didn't.
I
ask
am.
you
I
those
was born
questions.
here. What did it? What I can
Okay,
hear
What
you.
state? What state were you
What
born
Arab
in? Just
country do you
curious.
come from?
Sir, I'm as an American citizen as you are. Okay.
Yes, but what Arab country you come from?
I'm a Palestinian.
He already
Oh,
said
come
that.
on, man.
Abir, he
you're not
said that. Do
Palestinian.
you not listen, or
What
are you too busy
part of
yapping?
Palestine are you from? What part of Palestine? Are you
Ni'alin
Oh shit!
Ramallah.
Thank you, Ray Day. Wow.
from? Ni'alin, Ramallah,
Yes.
and you were born there.
No, I was born in Jordan.
And why does it
Oh, I
matter?
see.
What was
Yeah,
the
I was
purpose of the
born in
question?
Jordan.
Abir, what are we going to learn from that?
Right.
Yeah.
How does that change
Yeah.
anything?
Ask,
I'm
if
more
you say
American than you are.
Yeah, it
I got
sounds like-
more
it sounds like
Americans
Try to say
than
something bad
you
about the King of
got.
Jordan. Try to say something about the King of Jordan.
Fuck the King of Jordan.
Yeah, say it when you're in Jordan. Don't say it when you're in America.
I'll say it everywhere.
Thank you,
I don't
Beast.
give a
Thank you,
shit.
Habib. And Ray Day. Shout out to Ray Day. Guys, please keep tapping. Let's get to 50K in like the next 10 minutes. Let's get it. Abir, what can you explain is the purpose of like knowing what country somebody comes from? Like, what does that matter?
It shows who you
Matters.
are, actually, when
he
you
wants,
ask.
He
That's
wants
what it does.
democracy. He wants to live in democracy, but he's bringing his stuff from Jordan. He was born in
What do you
Jordan.
mean?
He's
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Jordanian.
This is proof that you're showing your colors when you ask somebody else where they're from, and you think that matters. That's you showing your colors, Abir.
Right.
That's you.
You're
You're
not
really showing us that
American enough
your
for
ideology
me.
is wherever you were born is the only way you can think. That's your ideology.
So you said you're anti-Israel, right, guys? He said he's pro-Palestinian.
Well,
He's anti-Israel.
Yes,
Now,
I'm
real quick,
anti-Israel.
Hassan, real
Yeah, go
quick,
ahead.
before we go down that kind of a side road, Coyote, I saw your hand up in the comments. If you wanted to jump in, I see your teacup, but sometimes people are teacupped and they still are able to talk. Are you there, Coyote? I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. Okay, go ahead, Hassan. I heard somebody just now. Was that Coyote?
I'm Coyote.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't. You're showing teacup, but I can hear you. Go ahead.
That's strange. Anyways, yeah, are you saying that article says that Trump sent weapons to protesters and they were taken by somebody else?
The Kurds,
Is that your-
yes.
No. So that article, if you were like bothered to read the own article you're citing, is talking about how other administrations had sent weapons and they ended up in other people's hands.
No, we can read it. We can read it right here. Like
ahead.
even the subtitle,
Do it.
the subtitle of this article.
The title, that's all you got to. It
Right
says
here.
The U.S.
I'm
If
very
Trump-
upset. Trump said,
If
"I'm
Trump-
very upset." Says U.S. tried to arm Iranian protesters, but guns were diverted. He admitted this after the protest and before he started bombing. Or actually, I think
So
it was
the
right
US
after he started bombing.
The U.S. did it, not Trump.
No, Trump is the one that did it.
Dude,
That's why he
Trump
was
is such
upset.
a narcissist. If he did it, he would say, I did it.
He's like, I'm so upset because Joe Biden tried to send weapons to
There you go. Thank
Iran.
you. You
Nonsense.
fucking liar.
No, you're up here misrepresenting what happened.
Yeah, if you're saying that there's other administrations that sent weapons, who are those other administrations? What authority do they have? On what basis were they able to send weapons to parties in Iran? What are you talking about, Coyote? Who are the administrations you're mentioning here?
The host is saying that Trump sent the weapons and that they were.
Well,
Trump-
who is in charge of foreign
Yes,
policy?
he did.
Hold on. Trump is saying the U.S. did it. He's not saying that he did it.
Sir, he's
You're
the president
taking
of
it-
the U.S. He's the
This-
But you
president of the
understand,
U.S.
he wasn't the president in 2021.
This is crazy.
Right? He wasn't the president in 2008, right? Like, this is. How can you be so dumb?
How can you be so obtuse, right?
In
The
2020,
US
Like
said
you're
US
so
sent
the
it.
TDS
You
with this
realize-
guy is so
you realize
thick
the U. Yeah,
that
that's why
he
keep
has to
interrupting.
make up as if Donald Trump. I'm very upset because. Oh, decades ago, 150 years ago, you aren't even saying who it was. The article doesn't say that because he's talking about himself. When he said we previously tried to send them, he's talking about
US.
himself in January. Of course, he didn't say, I walked him over to the plane and handed him off to him. He's referring to himself as the leader of the country.
No,
And why
he
are
said
we
the
sending?
US.
Why are we sending weapons to another country anyway? To people
We've been-
so that they can overthrow their government. Who does that?
I'll show you who.
in other words, host, it is so comfortable for Trump to
Crazy.
take credit. It is so comfortable for Trump to take credit for sending B-2 bombers to annihilate their uranium enrichment. He says, I did that, right? He takes all credit for that. He also goes and posts on social media about how he is giving a chance for the Iranian people to free themselves from their regime, and he will support them, and he will back them up, right? And then in a week
Right.
or two, tell them that he will take them back to the Stone Age. So this, again, Mr. Coyote, the president of America is the representative of the United States. So that article, when they said the United States sent weapons, that means that
now-
the current government supported that.
Right. And real quick, Coyote, this now I knew because I've read previous articles about this situation and I knew what Trump had tried to do because I've read several articles about it. I just happened to click the first one that came there that showed in the headline to make it really easy for a beer, right? So let me go to yet another source that's even more, specific about it. U.S. President says Washington armed Kurdish-Iranian opposition groups during the January demonstrations. Bro,
Here you go.
it happened. And the fact that you've got TDS that is so thick that you had to pretzel the fuck out of yourself in order to make it where Orange Man good is absolutely wild. When you know that this man lies through his teeth every time he opens his fucking mouth, and it's not even his teeth. He bought those teeth. They aren't even his own teeth. He always uses somebody else's shit. Let's
Why do you guys
be
are
honest.
so jealous of him? Why are you
He
so jealous
portrayed
of him?
himself as Jesus for
Of
fuck's sake,
his
and then he said that he was a
of his
doctor.
Of his
dentures.
success.
He's like,
Why are you jealous of his success? Why are you so jealous of his success?
Have you not seen when he's talking and his teeth try to
You guys
fucking
are so
like his
envious.
teeth doesn't even like him. They try to get out of his face
You
every
guys are
chance
so
they
envious
get.
of him.
Yet y'all are the ones with TDS.
No,
That's
so
what-
jealous.
Abir, when Israelis criticize Benjamin Netanyahu, are those Israelis, do they hate Israel because they don't want the Benjamin Netanyahu to be in office? Do they hate
No, I
Israel?
agree with you. Again, I agree with you. The Israeli.
Why are you against Americans hating on Donald Trump and then criticizing him?
You guys have
McLevin. Sorry,
I will
every
tell
time
you,
he
you
comes in, I have to do that. So,
You as a
go ahead.
pro-Palestinian and this liberal guy, you both have the same target. You need to get Trump out. You need to make him fail. You
What's
do
the
it as a
target?
pro-Palestinian thing, and he does it as a liberal thing. It's like
So why
you
can't you
have the
see
same.
it as me and the host are trying to look out for America?
But from different
Like,
from different approach, from different agendas. You have an agenda as a pro-Palestinian. He has an agenda as a liberal. You guys have.
I don't
Yeah,
have
we're
an-
both Americans.
no, no, no,
You have
no.
We're
the
both
same, you have the
Americans.
same
Actually,
target. The target
Abir,
is the same target.
Abir, let me clear something up. A lot of Democrats don't like me because they think that I've even had people accuse me of being MAGA. Previous mods called me MAGA. So the notion that I have an agenda because I'm a, quote, liberal is absolutely baseless. You have nothing with which to back that claim up. You are just getting into this
make fun of his
party
you
politics. I
in your
think
guts. You hate
Republicans and Democrats both are fucking this country up.
You guys
I
have
think
the same-
both parties are. And yet here you sit claiming that I have an agenda because I'm a liberal, and that is just a lie. What I care about is not killing people that don't deserve to be unalived if they didn't attack us first, obviously. Not doing that, and paying for making sure that children in the United States, making sure that calm down. Making sure that children in the United States have something to eat and that everybody has access to shelter, that everybody has access to electricity and water. That's what I care about. That's my agenda, is making sure that the people are taken care of and that we strip the power from the oligarchs that are currently running shit, that have convinced you somehow that they're doing what's in the best interest of you when in fact they're hurting you, and you continue to vote for it and to support that.
100%.
So, host,
You're such a peaceful person.
First off, I want to apologize. I'm reading it now that Trump did send those weapons late December 2025 and early January 2026.
Hey, look, hats off to you, sir.
I'm going to admit it for
I don't know if
sure.
I'm allowed to jump in.
Kudos, hey, W Coyote in the comments. That is, we don't get that a lot, so thank you, Coyote. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, we should
just
always
gonna add
question
into the
ourselves.
fact, like-
I'm happy that you questioned me. I did read more into it. I didn't know about that. So
And we
it is what it
appreciate you
is.
conceding.
I'm wondering.
We really
I
appreciate it.
legitimately wonder, and I've been thinking about this for a minute. I don't think that the algorithms are showing people who are leading right, like Trump's True Social posts, for example. I think that all of the really crazy shit that Trump is saying is being concealed from half of the population and being, doubled down on the other half to cause division.
I'm not even on.
You should
True
just reset
Social.
your settings and act like a MAGA person to see what you get on your TikTok.
Yeah, that would be wicked. Exactly.
Now-
That's what would happen. For real.
Now,
Like
real
Coyote,
quick.
what did you say,
You'd
Coyote?
only see Hakeem Jeffries on there saying something that didn't have anything to do with anything violent.
Right.
That's funny.
Right.
So what I will say is
Now, guys, go ahead, and then I'd like to hear from Wiggly Worm. He's been up for a minute, hasn't said anything. He doesn't like interrupting. So, Coyote, go ahead and finish, and then we'll get to Wiggly.
Yeah, I just think it's easy for me to read the title and maybe assume that a lot of people who just hate Trump misinterpret what he says, because that does happen a lot, and it really dilutes the truth. And I think I don't expect people to fucking admit when they're wrong like I do. It's just not going to happen. You were right in this case, but in a lot of cases, people just make shit up.
No,
That's why we're having these conversations.
Yeah, actually, liberals are pretty bad about that, where they won't dig into something. But I try to be, because I already knew this story. I just happened to grab the first thing that came up, right? That's why I was so confident whenever I was talking to a beer who I guess dropped. But I appreciate it, Coyote. Yeah, it's good. That's welcome here.
And it's not like the U.S.
Did you
doesn't
need
have
to
a
say
history.
anything else?
All right, one last thing. I don't like listening to Trump. I'm not a Trump fan. I think he's kind of an idiot. I do think that Democrats are that much worse, though.
Okay, Wiggly, go ahead, man. What's up?
Yeah,
Good to see you.
Yeah, no, likewise. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. Been busy, but thanks for having me on. Yeah, so I think earlier comment, right? I think it's important to be critical of government officials, no matter, what party, right? We're a safeguard. We're like the press in that way. We're like the courts in that way. We have the right to be critical. I mean, we spent over $8 trillion in foreign conflicts. Just imagine what that $8 trillion could have done, here, for our infrastructure, for example. It could have been extremely transformative. We talk about this national debt, $39 trillion. Even if that $8 trillion wouldn't go there, just imagine. the net positive would have had. So I think it's important, like, to be critical of these wars, too, because one, it wasn't declared by Congress, which is usually, the norm. I would argue that Trump was, given that power by Congress. So, but at the same time, there's a reason why war should go through these the more like proper channels, to avoid all of this and to get alignment from both sides. So,
Coyote, one thing I want to just mention, and because I think it's so important. You said that you think that Democrats are that much worse, and I think that we got to get off identity politics. I think on both sides of the aisle, both sides need to stop saying and putting liberals or Democrats into some group, and then people on the left need to stop putting people on the right into some group. People are not that way. People don't exist in this linear one. There's a few stupid people on both sides, and there's no doubt about it. And they're probably really loud ones too. And then there's mostly common sense, I think. I think there's mostly common sense and mostly people being duped. And the problem is that when we fall into, I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, and you're a Democrat, way too reductionist for the situation. That reduces the situation down to such a rudimentary level that it just doesn't make sense anymore. And it's just divisive. I think it's only divisive to say Democrats are all one way. And I think it's just as divisive to say that conservatives are all one way. I was born and raised conservative, and I changed when I was about 28. I switched over, my religious beliefs changed, my whole ideology changed. I still have family that's conservative, that I still am in close communication with, and that these political conversations don't dominate our lives.
They dominate my life. My God.
And that's the thing, is sometimes you're in that position and you get sucked into, I'm on this side, you're on that side. Man, I don't know. I think that the multi-billion-dollar corporations are the only ones benefiting from this divisiveness.
How's that?
Well, that's for sure. Absolutely.
The news, the narratives. They don't sell narratives without some people carrying those narratives.
It's almost like an entertainment industry in and of itself, right? You got to keep the drama going. Got to keep that drama going.
They're saying Walmart makes money off of, let's say, somebody wanting to chop their tits off.
Do what?
I don't understand where he's making the connection that big corporations are making money off of political divide.
The media corporations make all their money off of divisiveness. You understand that? Because that's the most, to activate someone in anger and fear is the most effective way to get them to engage and keep their attention. So social media companies like Facebook, Meta, right?
They prey on it.
Care about the currency that they trade in is attention. It doesn't matter if they're telling the truth. It doesn't matter if they're pissing you off. It doesn't matter if they're making you more stupid.
Well, that's why we need to bring back. I forget what it was called, but there was something that forced the news companies to be accurate on the reporting.
Yeah, that's so far gone.
Fairness doctrine, I think is what you're referring to.
We're so far past that.
We need to go back to that because that was just opinion.
It won't exist in the way that it did before because of social media. Because they exist in like a different space. But like to what Chase was talking about, another way is that collective bargaining, when you have more people, is easier. You have more leverage to bargain with, say, corporations. If you split those people into groups and then further split those groups into subgroups, it's easier to manage and to keep them from like coming together, for example, to buy Spirit Airlines or, whatever the case is, or to boycott. Right. And so that's a way that they also are able to obtain their, retain their power, because they've got us all split up into all these little various groups mad about something stupid.
In other words,
you're breaking that down to the origination of what, lobbying? Are you saying it's all lobbying?
Oh,
It's not
starts
all
there.
lobbying.
That's part of it.
Citizens United. Yeah,
part of it,
things
sure.
fell apart with Citizens United.
Chaos
That's-
and confusion also is another big part of it. Like if we really look at since January 2026 till today, if we look at the moves and the actions that the American government has took from kidnapping the Venezuelan president to the ICE and the Minnesota issues to the e-files and their exposure to the war and the conflict with Iran, I mean, there is so much on the average American citizen's plate to focus and to pay attention to that they're so confused. And at the end of the day, the most worry they have is to survive paycheck to paycheck. So, like, that also creates this sense, this mental sense of, you know what, I don't
hopelessness.
care. Hopelessness, exactly. Thank you, Chip.
Resignation.
Yeah, because
Behind
now
right.
you don't
Hopeless.
have any way to get out of the situation that you're in. It all feels so heavy.
And again, the
idea,
only thing that matters.
is to exhaust us.
Yes.
The purpose is to exhaust us.
Yes. And the
Exactly.
only
But
thing that
won't
matters
work.
to these
it's
companies.
not going to work because we're Americans and we're resilient and we aren't quitters.
It's
Hopefully
backfiring on them, man. It's backfiring. That's why we see 60% of Americans now against Israel and against the I-state. That's why we see the far right and the far left both criticizing Israel. That's the one thing in common they have today. You know?
That's new.
Yep,
That is a
that
new
is
phenomenon.
new. Never seen it in my
Isn't it?
whole life.
I mean,
Probably you
yeah,
either,
I-
Catalyst.
No. I first off, I spent a lot of time not aware of like all of the factors. It's a complicated situation, but the G side is pretty simple and bluntly.
I'm gonna need everybody to keep
straightforward
tapping.
that's
Please
going
keep
on.
tapping.
What G side are you talking about?
In Palestine?
Where's Palestine?
Is not real.
Anthony, are you
Gaza?
serious or are you trolling?
Well, I need specifics because that's a pretty bold claim.
In Gaza. In Gaza.
Gaza,
post
West
October
Bank.
7th.
Yeah. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of what all the politics were in that area. It wasn't until I actually talked to a genuine Zionist. Anybody ever done that?
Yeah.
Yes, they come up here all the time.
And wow. I mean, you're talking about some scary stuff. They talk about justifying
You mean people that have no clue what they're
the
talking
atrocities they do. You know,
Right.
These are
committing these
people with
atrocities for the good of
real
Israel.
first-hand information.
Do what, Anthony?
And I've never seen so many people together criticizing freely is not real.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, what were you saying, Anthony?
Oh, well, he's saying that he's seen Zionists come up here with bold claims and whatever he's saying. But, I mean, these are people that most of the people that come up here just say wild shit and really have no clue what the fuck they're talking about.
But he's not only talking about the people that come up here, Anthony. The fact is, we have seen the president of the I-state, Benjamin Netanyahu, talk about a Greater Israel Project and about ethnically cleansing the Palestinians. We have seen their minister
Did he
of
actually
national
say
security.
ethnically cleansing?
Look. The Minister of National Security, Mr. Ben Gvir. Okay, he's a well-known Likudist. He believes in the Talmud. Okay, he has gotten up and he has said that Palestinians are animals and we have to treat them as such. The dehumanization, the discrimination laws are so blatantly obvious, you cannot deny them.
Yeah, let's
So
just
it's
talk
not
about the
people on
actions.
TikTok.
What about forget the words? How about the actions of the Israeli government?
Right.
That says it all to me personally.
Are
The
they
bombing
still
of innocent civilians.
in conflict with Gaza right now? Are they still firing rockets?
Oh,
back and forth?
absolutely.
They have
Hundreds are dying every
obliterated
single
Gaza
day.
and taken Gaza down to its knees for obscene reasons.
I mean, the whole reason why this whole conflict became at the level it has been recently is because of October 7th.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Is that right?
Not
Is
because
that
of
right in
Israel.
your eyes?
Not because Israel has bombed and carpet bombed again innocent civilians. Not because that.
They've been
That's
firing
not the
bombs
reason?
back and forth at each other for a very long time before you were alive.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so if I can just spit some facts for him. Do you know about the conflict between Israel and Gaza 2008?
I mean,
you know the conflict?
look at this, Anthony. Just like
Oh, I know. It's an entire devastated area. I know.
It's
Yeah,
atrocious.
that's just the last 2 years, but that wasn't the first conflict against Gaza from Israel. That's what.
But
I
then why
need
do
you
they
to
keep
understand.
firing on a military force that's greater than theirs? It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous.
Because they want their basic human rights, sir. Because they
That's
are fighting-
ridiculous. You can't sit here and make an argument for an aggressor. That's ridiculous.
That's what
Wait,
you're doing.
no. Okay, so
Israel's the
Anthony,
aggressor.
yeah, you called Palestinians aggressors, but let's be clear about what the reality actually is. They don't have an airport because they're not allowed to leave. They can't use their ports to leave. They can't
passports. We
exit.
don't
They
even have
can't
passports.
exit Gaza without permission, either through Egypt or into Israel. They have to have permission to do so. And in the West Bank, for example, they have AI, basically automated pew-pews that can unalive them. They have checkpoints throughout all of their cities. This is what the Palestinian people have been up against. And you're telling me that if somebody were to come to your property and build a fucking wall around it and say, you have to ask me permission before you go. You can't canoe out because there's a lake behind you. You're not allowed to. And if you do, we're going to shoot at you the moment that you start to go, which is what they do. That
Was this before or after the major ramp up of aggressions?
October.
Before.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
This has
Bro,
been
that absolutely
going.
false.
This has been true for fucking 60 years now.
Yeah, let me give him an
60 years,
example.
yeah.
Let me give you an example, Anthony. Look, if you're a Palestinian, let's say if you are an 18-year-old Palestinian today, you have not been a part of any of the actual conflict. You're just a regular Palestinian, all right? Now, just because you are born with that ethnicity, there are certain roads that you cannot walk on. There are, if you want to go to work, if the commute to your work takes you 20 minutes, you have to leave your house 3 hours earlier. Why? Because you're going to be stopped at 3-4 checkpoints just because you are a Palestinian. Just because you are a Palestinian, you cannot own a passport. So your rights for transportation as a human being is not the same as anybody else in the world. You are denied that right.
There's no Palestinians in Israel at all. There's no Palestinians at all in Israel. Like, they don't live there and coexist with Israelis?
No, there are Palestinians in Israel that have an Israeli citizenship.
So then how come they don't do that to them?
Look, you need to understand. There are.
They've gone as far as making mosques for the Muslim faith within Israel, among the Holy Lands.
Sir, those mosques have existed way
Jewish
before
faith.
that.
So how can you say that they don't coexist with their neighbors?
Let me jump in here real quick.
Listen, plantation owners built houses for slaves. Do you think the slaves should have appreciated it?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's along the lines of you're calling what Palestinian slaves to the Israelis. So how is
Anthony?
that? What do they do?
Let me jump
I
in
mean,
here.
they exist
apartheid
where they are not allowed to go
is an
and do
apartheid state.
anything. Yeah, they have
Anthony?
there's separate rules for them. Like I'm not sure what the confusion is, but Chase, you had something you wanted to say?
Anthony, a second ago, Anthony said, "What G side? What Palestine?" And then when we showed him the video of the destruction, he's like, "Oh, I know.
It's war.
terrible."
What do you mean? So what? I can't acknowledge that there's war.
I'm just making the point. You're not a serious person.
You're trying to
You can't be a serious
diminish.
person claiming the shit that you are. You can't be.
What am I
just
claiming?
said- You just said
questioning.
what G side? What
Because it's not a
G-side?
G side. Because it's bullshit. It's not a G side.
It's a
but
war.
it's totally destroyed. But innocent
Destroying
people have been
buildings is
killed.
not a genocide. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
100,000
Why
people
are you
unalived.
simping for Israel?
100,000 people
mental
unalived
gymnastics.
as a result of one incident that occurred on one
Well, the
day.
Iranian government just got done taking 45,000 plus lives, or probably more by now, over protesters in the streets, protesting
You're
their
talking
government.
about Iran.
So what?
That's a whole different
I
thing.
mean, that's half of what you're talking about over years of a conflict back and forth between nations, or between territories, I guess.
Nobody occupied the Iranians. This is Iranians against Iranians. This is their own thing. This is nothing for about us Palestinians. Us Palestinians were occupied by an entity that came in, kicked us out, and took over. This is totally different. You cannot compare
Supported by
both.
the U.S.
Yeah,
Yes, funded by the United States.
you
I
cannot
think that's
compare
about
this.
ready to be done with.
Exactly.
The Israelis have existed in that region for a very long time.
They haven't.
It's true.
Yes,
Look,
they have.
the Jewish people have
Yes, they
existed
have.
in that region, and I
Right.
do not deny that, right, Anthony? I'm
You know
with
what,
you
Naz?
on
Do
that.
you know what,
Jewish
Anthony?
Christians, Catalyst. Jewish Christians and Muslims have existed in that region. Blacks, whites, yellows have existed in that region.
It goes
And they
back
have
all the way
all
back to the
existed.
early tribes of Judah. It goes all the way back.
Real
to
quick.
No, they don't. No. Anthony, do you know what ethnicity Netanyahu is? He's Polish.
It's Jewish, Israeli. I have no idea. You're
He's
asking me questions. I don't
No,
live
he's
there.
Polish.
What do I know?
Yeah,
Israel is a project
his family name
of
is Milkowski.
Europeans. Yeah, did you know that?
So, what are your points?
Well, Israel was formed after World War II as a project where some European Jews decided they were going to settle there and relocate there. And eventually it turned into those people taking over the area. The Palestinians were there first. And Israel isn't even allowing for like a two-state solution. They want to take everything over.
Yeah, and
Anthony,
real quick, let me, because Anthony said something that that's not a G side. This right here is from the UN. Article 2. In the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as such, unaliving members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. All of these things.
We need to highlight the fact that it says any of the following acts committed.
That's correct.
Any.
And the government of Israel came out, after October 7th and made very bold and very gross claims that they wanted to unalive them all. Many of the politicians in Israel's government said this, and then they started doing it. So, yes, it is a genocide by definition, by the people that defined it. Even people that, are Holocaust historians or whatever are referencing this in similar terms, because that's what it is. And think about that.
Military operation.
It's not, though. It's not, though.
Because
they were firing back and forth.
It's not, though.
You can put any label on it you want, Anthony.
Yep.
Everybody in the whole world.
You're going to tell me it was not a military. You're going to tell me that it was not basically war. It was war between.
Here's how I would explain it, Anthony. Hear me out.
It wasn't war. Of course, it was war.
Okay, so it was a war.
Then why is Yahoo definitely going to be? If Yahoo were to leave Is Not Real and find himself in a whole slew of different countries, they would arrest him and drag him to The Hague for WAR crimes.
Look. I just want to say one thing to Anthony. If what you're saying is right, if it was a war, a justifiable reaction to an incident that happened, they have the right to defend themselves as they claim. Okay, if that's the case, if we were to just isolate and analyze October 7th and what occurred post October 7th, right? October 7th. That operation that happened that day by the Palestinian resistance resulted in the unalivement of about 1,200 Israelis. Let's just, for the sake of the argument, say all 1,200 Israelis that were unalived on that day were innocent. Okay. In what law, in what common sense does the unalivement of 1,200 people make it okay for a group to react by unaliving literally
we had 80,000 or something?
Yeah, 180,000 and displace and take out whole family lineages. You see, like, if we were to simplify it and say that somebody committed a crime against you and unalived a few of your family members, and that gave you the green light to go and unalive the whole city that person lives in, are you a criminal or not?
On 9/11, how many Americans died?
Answer his question first. Don't get distracted, Anthony.
No, I'm not distracted. This is relevant. How many
No,
Americans?
actually, thank you for
how many
bringing that up.
Americans? How many Americans were lost on 9/11?
Yeah, a lot. And how many?
Exactly.
Also,
It's just
okay,
comparable. This is basically
It's actually not, because a bunch of Saudis, allegedly Saudis, hijacked planes and flew them into the tower, and so we went to Iraq and Afghanistan that had nothing to do with 9/11
and killed hundreds of thousands of people.
And
Yeah, so this is
and let me
actually very
let me
relevant,
make a
Anthony,
point,
like-
because Israel has wanted every nation that is since and including after 9/11, every nation that we have gone in and fucked up, invaded, unalived the leader of, or destabilized, every one of those nations, Israel wanted us to do that, and we did that. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
In other
course
words,
it does.
if I may,
October
look,
11th
it does.
was Israel's 9/11.
It was
Anthony,
not.
Anthony, it does. Look, here's how I would explain that. Look, with that same sense that you're talking about, as a result of 9/11, right? As a result of 9/11, America went to Afghanistan and America went to Iraq. Correct? Hold on, Dr. AM, please. If we were to go to a soldier who have been deployed to Iraq or to Afghanistan, right, and he came back with PTSD or with a lost limb, and now that we know that in Afghanistan Taliban took over, so America did not win, and in Iraq nothing benefited the Americans from that 10-year incursion. Tens of thousands of American soldiers have lost their lives. So when you go and talk to these soldiers, these American troops that sacrificed all that sacrifice, would you justify it by saying this is war? This is what you signed up for. It is your fault. You get what the point that I'm trying to make here? Is it the fault of the soldier that he believed that there was weapons of mass destruction because his government told him, and for that reason he went and fought, and then he came back, and then there was no weapons of mass destruction. So
it was a
did you get
lie.
the point?
Yeah, the whole war was a lie. Just like this war, quote unquote, war is a lie.
Yeah, and Anthony, I got to be honest.
The whole
like,
war was not a lie. I mean, we went there in response to 9/11, which then kind of somehow mutated into rumors of weapons of mass destruction.
Kind of somehow.
No.
That
was the justification. The weapons of mass destruction was the justification they used to go into Iraq and Afghanistan. That's literally what they said, and that was a lie. They knew it was a lie. We know that they knew it was a lie at the time, and they used it to justify that because Americans were pissed, and Israel was like, here we go. We can finally get rid of these countries that might be able to stop us later when we do what we want to do. And you know what? And I'll just... Have you seen the Wesley Clark video? I play it from time to time. Anthony, have you seen that?
No.
Let me play this to maybe put it into perspective. And when you start hearing the countries that he lists off, just let it resonate, because over the last 15, 20 years, you will have heard all of those countries' names from the U.S. government in some form or fashion. Here we go. Let me pull this up here. This is General Wesley Clark. He's a military general.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the joint staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, is it classified?
In every one of those countries, we have, since 9/11, gone into, destroyed unalived the president, destabilized in some way, and I don't have proof of it, but I guarantee you, Israel provided that list of countries. We've been, like you'll see on TikTok, and maybe you've seen it, I don't know. There's videos of compilations of Benjamin Netanyahu for 40 fucking years almost, since like 1980. This dude gets in front of our Congress telling us how bad Iran is. They're 2 weeks away from getting a nuke. He's saying this like 40 years ago. And he just kept doing it.
Well, it's no secret that we've used Israel for intel. We know that.
What's
well,
intel,
I don't think that we're using them for intel. I think Israel is using.
We're
us.
using them for. We're using them for intel.
We're the cucks here, Anthony. We are being cucked.
What did you think of that video, Anthony?
The intel about the supposed WMDs was Israeli.
And it was wrong.
We use Israeli intel for a lot of, like right now, we've used a lot of Israeli intel for this Iran operation.
Okay, so we use a lot of Israeli intel.
But they dragged us
what
into
did you
a
think
WAR.
of that video, Anthony?
This is the second WAR they've dragged us into.
Yeah, Anthony, does that video add any perspective to like what you've been seeing over the last 25 years?
Oh, I mean, we should have left the Middle East a long time ago after 9/11. I mean, we were there for 20 years. For what reason were we there for that long?
Shouldn't have gone in.
I just think one thing led to another, and they had to keep sweeping shit under the fucking rug at that point. You know,
that's what's happening right now with Palestine.
Let's talk about the intel for a second, because that's a really important point that he mentioned. He's saying that America benefited from Israel in that 30, 40, 50-year relationship and unconditional love and support. They benefited by intel. The intel that you're talking about, Marco Rubio, before the conflict with Iran started, Marco Rubio came out and said, based on the intel that we have gathered, we know that Israel is going to attack Iran, and there's nothing we can do to stop Israel. For that reason, we know that after Israel attacks Iran, our assets in the region will be under threat, and for that reason, we need to preemptively attack Iran. So the intel you're talking about, who does it actually benefit at the end of the day? Because as far as I know, 7 American soldiers have lost their lives in Iran when not a single Israeli soldier had lost his life in Iran.
The intel is obviously pretty valuable and very correct. If we were able to pretty much decapitate the Iranian IRGC within maybe like the first week,
but we
taking out every leader.
Let me follow up.
Decimating their entire Navy and Air Force. I mean, you're going to tell me that the intel is crap? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay, so the United States doesn't need Israel to give us intelligence for them. The United States is more than capable of doing that. We've got satellites that can look at the fucking bird in the bird bath in your backyard.
Yeah,
right.
They've got spies in the region that have infiltrated.
And as do we, right? As do we. Of course we do.
Answer me this.
But the fact is that you claim that we like unalive the military or whatever. Their intelligence failed to show them that their military had been adjusted and compartmentalized so that they could operate separately without any kind of leadership. Because if we had unalived their Navy and all of these other things, they wouldn't be able to sink our ships and fight these boats and unalive the ports in the UAE and do all of this damage to our bases. Yet they have.
Well, what boats did they sink of ours?
Well, Donald Trump claims that they didn't. They're claiming that they sank too because they were trying to get into the strait.
None of our boats were hit by anything.
That's what Trump told you.
Look, I want to ask Anthony a question.
And that's the reason I put this prompt the way that it is. Yeah.
Well, that video most recently, I think it's come out, yesterday, last night, whenever it just recently came out about a ship supposedly hit and sunk, which was our own military sunk our own decommissioned ship, and it took hours for it to sink. That's from 1985 or some shit.
CW makes a great point. CW in the comments said, we also decimated their nuclear program, but also simultaneously didn't. He told us a year ago or whatever that we decimated their nuclear program, and now we have.
Because the bunker busters, they did not hit the actual nuclear material. They hit the pathways to the nuclear material, because you obviously don't want.
He told you that he did, though,
and then create fallout. So you want to decimate the pathways to the nuclear material. It can still be recovered.
He told you that it was decimated. That's what he said.
Obliterated.
Right. Totally obliterated. That's what he said, right?
At what point? Yeah.
Okay. So now when he comes out and says, right, that's what he said. And now when he comes out and says that we have to continue attacking them so they don't get nuclear weapons, yet we already obliterated it. When do you stop believing him?
Is still able to be recovered. It's still, because the nuclear material is not.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Why is it easy for you to believe?
Of course, it makes sense, because you don't want to bomb nuclear material. It's not going to ignite, but it's nuclear dust. It's all of the material used that they keep enriching and refining. So if you hit that, then the bunker buster blows it out into the atmosphere, and next thing you know, you just created nuclear poisoning within the entire region.
But he also said he was going to take them back to the Stone Age.
So real quick, the point of me asking this is because he lied. And Anthony is now trying to make excuses for it and
I'm not making
add
excuses. He didn't lie, because the nuclear program has been decimated.
And so when he says this didn't happen, and it did, because he also said that we didn't get a lot of damage in our bases. He said that, and they were totally obliterated. Our bases in that region,
our bases were obliterated.
Yes.
He also said there was no air.
You're talking about the ones that we weren't protecting.
No,
we weren't even manned in those bases.
Then explain how there are videos of U.S. soldiers in a base that's being attacked.
How do you know those were U.S. soldiers?
Because that's what the reporting said. They looked like U.S. soldiers. They spoke with English, with Americanized English. That's how I know.
Because they evacuated all those areas.
They didn't.
Look, Anthony.
Yes, they did.
No, they
you
didn't.
don't remember the evacuation orders being sent to all of the Gulf bases?
There was about a dozen soldiers unalived.
Yeah, we didn't evacuate them all.
One particular area that's very controversial, where they said we were sitting ducks. We had absolutely no defense against what
all those bases were evacuated. That's why they were vulnerable to attack.
Okay, here's a hypothetical, Anthony. When I told you that Marco Rubio came out and said the intelligence told us blah blah blah, Israel will attack first, and for that reason we need to protect our assets and etc. etc. If we were to simplify it, you have a best friend, your day one best friend, your high school, your middle school buddy that you're still best friends with, and you know for a fact that your friend is gonna go and attack his nemesis. And for that reason, your family, because he's your friend, your family will be under threat. Would it be easier for you to go and talk to your friend and try to calm him down? Or would you take the action of going and attacking his nemesis before he does to protect your assets? Do you understand? The fact that America did not go and talk to Israel and try to make Israel not attack Iran, yet they go and they attack Iran before Israel does, to protect Israel and to protect themselves. That's the problem right there. Does that tell you that President Trump wants peace? The president who ran his campaign on no more foreign wars, I want to win the Nobel Peace Prize, weapons of mass destruction was a lie, and then he comes and does exactly the opposite of what he ran on. Is it the fault of the Americans who
So was that a whole conspiracy theory on your end, saying that we attacked Iran before Israel so we can attack? That's
what Marco Rubio. That's what Marco Rubio stated.
Marco Rubio said that.
Yeah.
That we attacked before Israel could because we thought that they would respond and retaliate, and we wanted to do it. That's what he said. Did you not? Here, I can pull it up.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah, thank you. Because that's the premise that Joe Kent. Anthony, do you know who Joe Kent is?
No.
So Joe Kent was the head of the counterterrorism in the Pentagon. He was the head of the counterterrorism in the CIA. Okay, he shares the same intelligence as President Trump gets. Up until about 2 months ago, he resigned. In his resignation letter, he said, "I resigned because I cannot, with good conscience, support what's happening with Iran, because I know for a fact, based on the intelligence that I get, that Iran never caused an imminent threat on American soil or American people. And for that reason, I cannot support this." Now, we are talking about a person who was put in that position by the Trump administration, who have served 25 years in counterterrorism. He have lost his wife fighting for America, fighting against terrorism. And he has sacrificed a lot of friends and a lot of time and a lot of effort. And now they call him a traitor because he stood against what Trump's administration.
Based on the information of what was the enrichment percentage of Iran. I guess we can start there, so you can at least get a baseline of what you believe.
The nuclear stuff has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Because that is part of the whole imminent threat situation, yes.
No, not as it relates to what Rubio said. Yeah. And I've got the video, but it's not loading up. What? No,
according to what Hassan is saying.
He claimed that they obliterated it a year ago. They did obliterate it now. So if you're going to make the claim, then you have to acknowledge that Trump is a liar. Right? Either he destroyed their nuclear capabilities or he didn't. Now, we know what Marco Rubio said, and it didn't have anything to do with nukes.
Destroying the capabilities, the current capabilities of what they have to enrich, yes, was destroyed. The nuclear material that they were enriching was not destroyed. Why would we bomb and blow nuclear material?
That doesn't make any sense.
That is ridiculous.
They're all in bunkers and underground.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't go into the atmosphere. That's why they were bunker busters.
I don't know why it took forever for this to load up. But
they destroyed.
Those are designed to go
here we go.
Within the underground.
It's more than just one. It's more than one.
Okay.
One underground facility. There's a network of tunnels and facilities underneath.
Let's listen to Marco Rubio.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
Yeah. So Israel was going to attack them, and we knew that Israel was going to attack them, so we had to attack them first. Had nothing to do with nuclear weapons. That's nothing whatsoever to do with it.
Well, then why did Iran come out and say they had the capability to create 11 nuclear warheads?
They had a fatwa. They were under a fatwa that prohibited them from actually obtaining nuclear weapons. You do understand that, right? It's been to what?
Why would the
15 years?
IRGC say that they have the capability to create 11? They have enough material to create 11.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what quote you're talking about.
I will say one of the things that most liberal...
Who said that?
IRGC. I don't know exactly who. I mean, there's really not many
people
left that actually talk about
Where
IRGC.
did you get that fact? Where is the source of that information?
Look it up.
Did you
I'm
see
sure
it
you
on
can find
CNN?
it. It's out
Did
there.
you read
Look,
it
if you make a claim, the onus is on you to support that claim. I've never heard that, so I don't know what you're talking about or who you claim said it. You don't know anything about the quote.
This was what, about 3
claim.
weeks ago? Maybe a little more?
So after we bombed them.
It might have been less. Might have been 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it was after we bombed them and all that. They said they have 11 nuclear weapons. They also lied about the. They also lied about the ballistic missile capabilities.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Why would you? Do we tell? Wait, Anthony.
So you're saying that they have no ability for a nuclear weapon?
Do
but
we?
They lied about
Do
everything.
we have to tell the world the entirety of our arsenal and what we're capable of doing? No. Neither does Israel. Israel has nukes, and yet they're the only nation on earth that hasn't signed non-proliferation treaties, hasn't come out and officially admitted that they have nukes, and we allow them to do so, which is the problem that you claim we have with fucking Iran. Even North Korea has openly stated that they have them. Russia has. Israel, Pakistan, for some reason, is allowed to go around, and everybody just assumes they have it because they literally stole nuclear secrets. And guess who, Anthony, stole those nuclear secrets? Robert fucking Maxwell. You remember Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's daddy? He stole and transported some nuclear secrets back to Israel. They've been doing this to us for a long time. They stole shit from us with Jonathan Pollard, who then got a big fucking hoorah when he got out of jail in the U.S. Over in Israel. Our ally does this to us. They steal all our shit, including our nuclear weapons, and then Israel basically lied in state when Maxwell died. They made a big fucking stink about it. They celebrated.
I'm not making an argument defending Israel and all that, because they do a lot of fucked up shit. We all know that.
But I'm saying, why is it that Israel didn't tell us about their ballistic capabilities? I don't give a good goddamn. I don't care. That's their business.
That's exactly the point, Anthony. Like, before you go and you preemptively attack Iran, maybe go and talk to your best friend, talk to your ally. Before you start all this shit, you could have nipped it in the butt if you went and calmed Israel down. But you decided.
Yeah, well, Iran was not supposed to even have nuclear capabilities to enrich. They're supposed to be buying it. So, all of a sudden, Iran then gets sanction lifted and gets the ability to start enriching. They were only supposed to enrich to what, 30, 20%? I think that was the max. And then it comes out they've got
grade.
Then it comes out they're not allowing inspectors.
90% is weapons grade.
Russia was under sanctions.
But then it comes out that they don't allow inspectors to inspect their sites. They're not giving truthful information regarding their capabilities.
There were all sorts of inspections.
And then it comes out. The truth comes out after we have this conflict, after we hit their sites, that they had the enrichment capabilities of up to 60%. And then now with the technology and with all the science, especially what we know now that is more openly public regarding nuclear material enrichment, we know from 60% to 90% is nothing.
That's all a lie.
Is nothing.
Everything you just said is propaganda. They themselves officially on the fucking record for the last almost 20 years are prohibited. They prohibited themselves from obtaining nuclear weapons. So they actually, the JCPOA, they got that even though they had no intention of building a nuke. They came out and said this.
Let me make a point.
And here's another issue that I have. The only nation on earth that has used a nuclear weapon to unalive people is going around dictating terms to everybody else. I don't actually care if Iran tries to get a nuclear weapon, because at this point, clearly they need something to deter bad actors, the United States, sadly, from attacking them. Because they didn't attack us, Anthony. They've never attacked us. They've never done anything to us. We have been continually fucking with that country since 1953 and probably even before then. And I think that's fucked up.
You do know that Iran's proxies are some of the worst fucking terrorist groups that exist.
That's not true.
It's not absolutely not true.
Yes.
But please allow me to make a point to you.
Hamas is Iranian backed. Damn. What's the other ones? Fucking Hamas, Hezbollah. There's a couple more. They're smaller groups and not very well known.
If that was the case, Anthony, do you think that more damage would have been done on October 7th?
1,200 people is not enough damage?
Look at what Iran has been able and capable of doing to Israel when Israel strikes it. They fucked their world up. They hit bases all over that region. They destroyed our bases. They bypassed and shot down our own fucking multi-billion-dollar planes. This nation is very militarily capable. And so the notion that they are backing Hamas rather than just supporting the cause that they're trying to do, which is slough off an oppressive nation, which is Israel, because Israel has been attacking Iran for a long time now. So Hamas and Iran have common interests, but they aren't backing them in the way that you claim, because had they been, fucking on October 7th, drone strikes would have been coming. They would have had all kinds of fucking military capabilities. They would have destroyed a lot more shit than what they did. But they didn't. They had to use tractors to remove the wall just to get in there in these makeshift helicopters. Dude, they're still rebuilding missiles from old shells that landed there from Israel. They repurposed this shit. If Iran was actually... And I'm going to land the plane here. I'm going to land the plane here. If Hamas was actually being funded to any degree by Iran, they wouldn't be having to do any of that. But they do, because they aren't being supported in that way.
Where do you think Gaza got their rockets from?
Let me tell you something, Anthony.
Do you think Gaza? You think that tiny little strip just has all this technology and all this capability to create weapons and bombs and all that?
Yes. Actually,
everything
Hassan,
from
hold on.
Iran.
Anthony, let me. There was a guy, Yahya Ayash. Go look this guy up. He's a bomb maker. He made bombs for quote unquote Hamas. Right?
They call him the engineer.
That's right. And Israel had been trying to get at this guy for some time. So what they did, I think it was his cousin or something. They managed to intercept a phone call. They learned, I think, that he was, gay. I'm not sure exactly what the thing was, but they basically tortured him until he agreed to give a cell phone. This was in 1999 to his cousin Yahya Ayash. So he gives the cell phone to him, and when dude answers the phone, it blows his head off. They have bomb makers in Gaza. In fact, every country probably has bomb makers. People enjoy that kind of shit. You get people in the United States doing that stuff. So yes, they can make their own explosives, and they have been doing it. There are many Yahya Ayashes. Right. So the notion that they can't produce their own munitions is a joke. They use old failed munitions, repurpose them, and rebuild those rockets. That's why they get lobbed over and they don't go anywhere, because they don't have software. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's no computers. It's just rocket propelled boom boom. It's like taking a pipe bomb and then putting a fucking several bottle rockets on it and shooting the damn thing off. That's what they're operating with, and that's why it's not good. That's why they don't do anything.
It's all old Iranian tech. It's just not a bunch of hobby rockets.
It's Israeli tech. It's Israeli tech.
And let me just there's one point I really want to amplify.
And can I go after
Anthony?
Yes. Actually, Wiggly. I mean, if you need to say something, because me and Hassan have been speaking for a while. Go ahead, man.
Just real quick. So I mean, the Gaza City, right? So in Gaza, 80% of structures were damaged or destroyed. Right. So 89%.
Yeah, but why? But why were those structures destroyed? Why?
Hold on, let him finish his point.
Hold on. So 89% of water and sanitation assets were damaged or destroyed. Of 77% of roads, damaged, destroyed. 87% of cropland, damaged, destroyed. So my point is this, right? When you declare war, when you engage in a war, there's a concept known as just warfare, where you take out the military targets, you do your due diligence, especially in accordance to international law, to protect the protected population. That those are civilians within the Gaza City. So, but that wasn't the case. So now you created a region where you had, I think, the majority of people that were displaced. I think there was recent statistics, 80-90% of people were displaced. Do you consider that just? I guess would be my question.
If they're trying to militarily castrate the region to stop They stopped the military of from moving and functioning and being able to go from point A to point B to move military operations there. Military sets up shop in a 15-story building. Well, that makes that 15-story building a target. And then they reach a point to where, hey, they're not stopping. They keep hunkering down in civilian areas. And I remember Israel telling these people in these certain areas, hey, evacuate. They're telling Gazans to evacuate certain areas.
Evacuate. With that logic,
which is the reason why all the Gazans went to the ocean, because they were told to evacuate.
With that logic, I'll land my plane here. Then that means 80 to 90% of either Russia or Ukraine should be decimated. With that logic, I mean, does that sound reasonable?
That's actually what's happening right now. They're hitting strategic points.
Okay, allow me now to make my point.
They're hurting the economy, both Russia and Ukraine, which now Ukraine is actually doing quite well. They're bombing, oil refineries in Russia. It's all of hurting the economy, hurting the mobility, pretty much eliminating the ability to fight back. That is the whole premise behind war.
Okay,
it's pretty common sense at that point.
Okay, answer me this, Anthony. Look, America has been the superpower, the mightiest military. وعليكم السلام دكتور كيف حالك؟ يعطيك العافية.
حياك الله الله يكرمك يا رب. أنا من غزة فرن غاز وأنت بتعرف وضعي. أنا أول مرة أطلع معكم يعني الله يكرمك يا رب.
الله يقويك يا أخوي الله يطبرك. والله يا أخوي هنا ما في داعي.
Talk English.
Sorry, Anthony. Host, this guy's from Gaza. You know the deal. He's claiming.
Yeah. Do anybody in the comments, can you vet the guy? Do you know the guy?
دكتور بتقدر تفتح لنا الكاميرا لثانيتين بس عشان توثق للناس هنا انك انت من غزة.
تمام يا اخوي.
So I asked him to open the camera to verify for us. Is that okay with you, host?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna see he's tan. I mean, so how does that prove to us he's from Gaza?
Anthony, please just give us a second,
Yeah,
man.
this is when you're in these spaces that there are a lot of people suffering in that area, and unfortunately, when aid does get through, it gets taken by people who then jack up the fucking costs and do shitty things that shitty people do. Let's see here.
So
let me
it is
pull him up
nighttime
here.
over there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see much. بتقدر تفرجينا يا دكتور تقدر تفرجينا مثلا بوكسة
And see how fucked up would that be? God.
بوكسة دعم. والله مش شايفين إشي يا أخوي للأسف. في عندك بوكسة دعم من هدول الكراتين تبعون فهمت علي؟
Well, أنا ما أخذت كراتين مساعدة أنا مصاب. أنا إلي شهر مصاب برجلي وما بقدر أقوم بعمل دفاع مدني.
Host, I can't really confirm
because
you've seen the camera. I can't really confirm, so I don't want to I don't know. It's up to you, host.
I mean, look, if you want to gift this gentleman, I mean, if you feel comfortable enough, that I'll leave that up to you. But just ask him to just sit there and let us continue our debate. Otherwise, if he keeps interjecting, I'll drop him.
Perfect. اوكي دكتور حبيبي خليك معنا هون خليك عامل ميوت وخليك معنا واللي بيقدر يدعم راح يدعم اوكي بس ما تحكيش حبيبي والله ولا يهمك يا غالي خليك بس على ميوت. Thank you. Okay, he's gonna stay on mute. Keep him up here until you decide not to host. But let me get back to my point. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So look, Anthony, I have a question for you. Here's the thing. America, the mightiest country, the superpower, the mightiest military in the world. For 50 years they have been sanctioning Iran. They have been taking control of the Middle Eastern region. They have 800 bases all over the world. And you are here telling me that a country that has been sanctioned for 40 years, a country that has been under all that pressure from the mightiest military in the world, after all this time, till today, America has this much trouble dealing with their uranium enrichment capabilities, dealing with their theism, dealing with their axis of resistance. Like, how bad does this look for America? If America claims to be the mightiest and the strongest, and they cannot even take control over a country they have been sanctioning for 40 years, how bad does that look?
How are we doing bad? Everything's gone. They have drones.
Their country is still there.
Look, here's how I would answer that. America has used B-2 bombers. America have used the THAAD missile system, which cost $1 million per missile system.
Right.
America's using all their power. America's using everything in their arsenal. And these guys that you're going against are building $30,000 drones that they're managing to be
hell even
the
cheaper
Iron
than
Dome
that. Right.
Yeah, bro. Like can't you see the irony there?
The math difference is because if you can suck, because we're going into debt, we already have a huge amount of debt, Anthony. I think you acknowledge that, and we're spending billions. I think in the first 2 weeks we spent over $25 billion. And
they're bleeding us.
They are bleeding us, and this is a tactic, and it's going to work. Now, can we decimate anywhere that we probably want to? Probably. But
we're hitting strategic points. We're not just taking out whole towns and cities, and
keep in mind, Anthony,
we're hitting military targets.
Iran is twice the size of Iraq and Afghanistan combined. Okay, they got 90 million people. That's a third of our population. We aren't going to take that country over. Okay, it's not going to happen. And so we will just continue to pepper and waste our money and spend our money on bullshit, and we will get absolutely nothing out of it except for higher gas prices, higher food costs, because fertilizer is now fucked up in that region. There's nothing to win here.
What makes you confident? What makes you confident that America will be successful in Iran when America has failed in Iraq, when America has failed in Afghanistan? What makes you so confident they will be successful in this incursion? What gives you
where's Iran getting their money from? They have no way to make money.
But they're sanctioned by you for.
They have no way to make money.
Well,
they have managed to survive.
Well, think about it this way.
Cut off from the economic system. They have no way to make money.
Think about it this way: if you can get your hands on the resources, and you can then refine those resources, and then you can turn it into, and you do that because your people are trying to do this. You don't need money. You can do all of those things without this money.
They need money.
And that's why they were trying to. And they have oil, and their oil tankers are still getting
sell their oil.
Yes, they can. They've been selling it to China. They've been selling it to China forever, bro.
Those ships are going in and out.
Yes, they are. Iranian ships are getting out. Yes, they are. Trump is lying to you. He's lying.
You could do a Google search, and you could find that to be true.
Afghanistan bled the USSR dry on nothing but Kalashnikovs and stones. They hid in their caves, and they bled the USSR dry over 20, 30 years. They didn't need any money. They didn't need anything.
Yep.
And I just wanted to say that
once the refineries are full and they have to stop production, the refineries are sludged up and they no longer have the ability to make money unless they completely purge their entire system. That's what's happening right now.
What do you think is happening in Saudi Arabia?
They're getting money from the Strait, by the way.
Yeah.
There's no ships going through. They can't get money from the Strait.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, there's
not.
Ships are getting through, Anthony. They're lying to you. The United States
escort out. We had a period where we were escorting ships out.
They managed to survive 40 years with your sanctions. They managed to survive 40 years. What makes you think they're not going to manage to survive now? They have managed to compete against America, the mightiest of the mighty.
Sanctions don't mean shit if you don't do business with America.
Yeah, but the status quo today, you have put sanctions on Russia. Look at Russia today. You have put sanctions on Iran. Look at Iran today.
Sanctions don't mean shit if you don't do business with America. It only works.
Iran doesn't do business with America. Iran doesn't do business with America, and yet they were able to destroy all of our bases in that area. Isn't that amazing?
Man, the fact that they managed to
that was under your presumption that they actually destroyed our bases. I mean, they got one drone off here and there, I think they destroyed
That's enough
a couple
for a country that has been sanctioned for 40 years.
radars
That's
on some undefended bases because they were all evacuated before the
You're
conflict.
gonna have to explain where you're getting your info, buddy. You're gonna
And
have
the
to
thing
give an
is,
example
the
or
thing
something.
is, man,
Because you're just.
This is the country that claims to be invincible. This is America. The 800 bases
The
around the world.
UAE
the
is not our
trillions of
country. We
dollars.
have bases there, and they were all evacuated before the conflict. The fucking White House put out to all the embassies in the region and to all
Did
the
7
bases
American
to
soldiers
evacuate the
lose their
entire
life?
Gulf area.
Did 7 American soldiers lose their life or no?
Not on base. They were in operation.
In the conflict, I'm saying in general, in the conflict, 7 American soldiers have lost their lives. Isn't that enough to prove incompetence when you claim to be the world's mightiest power? Going
7
against a
soldiers
country-
being lost in a war
It's
conflict
incompetence.
is proves incompetence on the nation that's in conflict.
Yes,
It doesn't make any
because
sense.
you're comparing a nation that was sanctioned for 40
How
years
many
to a nation
Iranians
that's
lost their
still in-
lives?
You're comparing a nation that was sanctioned
How
for
many
40
Iranian
years.
IRGC has lost their lives
Hold
during
on,
this conflict?
just let me finish the sentence.
No,
You're
'cause
comparing.
if you're going to be disingenuous, you got to. So we lost
I'm not being
7. We lost
disingenuous.
7 of our good guys.
How much
so
does
how many
America spend on
IRGC?
military?
How many
much does-
Iranian military have lost their lives?
How much
Do you
America
have
spends
that
on
number,
military
Anthony?
versus
Why don't
versus
you
Iran?
answer
Listen,
that?
listen. How much does the IRGC spend on their military capabilities versus how much does America spend on their military capabilities?
How many IRGC? It doesn't matter. It's on the budget.
And
how many
Yes, it
IRGC?
does.
How many
Because we're-
IRGC?
we're
how many
hemorrhaging
Iranian
money.
military lost their lives during this conflict?
Anthony, how comfortable are you being led, the most powerful empire in the U.S. Or in the world, being led by Israel, being led around on a leash by Israel? They will
How do you know
bleed
that?
us dry and not
How do
think
you know
twice
that?
about it. They will bleed us dry. How do I know?
How's
We're
that?
in a war with Iran that has absolutely nothing to do with us, and we're being told exactly the same justification that
What do you have to prove
Netanyahu has
otherwise?
used for years, for decades.
So what is your?
We're
What
being
do you
led
have? What do you
around
have
and
to
bled
prove that
dry
Israel's in
by
charge?
this insane nation.
Here's the proof: the hour and a half speech that Benjamin Netanyahu came and made in front of the Congress of the U.S. And got a 20-minute standing ovation for. Did you hear that speech?
Yeah, and Anthony, I just want to say, it's not nuclear, right? And this whole entire conflict isn't just about nuclear, because if that was just the scope, then why did Benjamin Netanyahu propose constructing oil and gas pipelines across the Arabian Peninsula as a way to bypass Iranian-controlled Strait of Hormuz?
If you're a patriot,
to a
stop.
problem.
If you're a
solution-
patriot, make America
When there's
first.
a problem, you have to present a solution.
If
You
you're a
don't just keep
patriot, make
identifying
America
problems and then
first.
just bitch about it.
If you're a patriot, make America first. Stop fighting for the Zionists.
Okay, under that logic,
That's the
let's
solution.
stop all funding to Ukraine. We are no longer giving money to Ukraine, no longer giving weapons to Ukraine because we are America
That's
first.
different. Ukraine.
Yeah, how is
has,
that different? It's the same fucking
integrity.
thing. It's the same thing.
Ukraine isn't committing war crimes.
It's the same thing.
No.
What genocide is
no.
Ukraine supporting?
Completely different region, completely different opponent.
Man, y'all are fucking crazy.
And
It's
completely
the same
different
thing.
reactions from
You're
the
a
American
simp.
government. Completely different
Zion-
reactions from.
You are a simp.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
How are you gonna because of the Iranian conflict? How are you gonna say that we can't? You're to say we can't back Israel, but we can back Ukraine. It's now
Because
if you're gonna
under
claim
the
you're gonna
United
claim under the
Nations,
premise of
Ukraine
America
is
first,
running
Here's
around
why,
we
because
don't back allies because America first. We don't back allies. America doesn't need no nation other than America.
Israel
We don't
wasn't
need allies.
invaded.
Fuck them, right? So
Let's look at the United
Well,
Nations. Let's
Ukraine.
look at the United Nations.
He's crashing out.
Is Russia considered an occupier?
you make me talk loud because you guys keep talking over.
That is true. There's like 12
Whatever the
people
fuck.
talking. There's only 7 people on the panel. Anyway, okay. So what is your point, Anthony?
No, I'm saying because their logic is the whole Israel thing. Because we're giving money to Israel, we give weapons to Israel, or whatever it is. They have a beef with Israel, but the thing is, they won't apply that same logic to Ukraine. Obviously, it's different conflicts, different scenarios. But the thing is, he said America first. fuck Israel. So, all right, then let's use the same logic to Ukraine. Let's no longer back Ukraine and leave Ukraine to its own devices.
Beautiful.
If that's going to be how the hill he's going to die on.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, except we would again have to, go against the agreement that we made with them when they gave up their nuclear weapons.
Do we give $100 billion to Ukraine every year?
They had nuclear weapons, for the record, and they gave them up under the agreement that we would protect them in the event of an attack.
Did we give Ukraine an Iron Dome?
Well, Ukraine. I'm pretty sure they do have something of that sort right now.
Do we give Ukraine $100 billion every year?
We'd give Ukraine billions of dollars. What are you talking about?
Every single year.
Or did we loan it to them?
For 80 years.
Did we loan it to them?
Like, compare the relationship of America and Israel to America and Ukraine. Just compare.
Initially, no. But then Trump was like, you know what? Then it's a loan under, I forget the agreement he was trying to barter with Zelensky. But there was something he was trying to. Oh, I think it was the rare earth minerals and doing the process, because actual rare earth minerals are not rare. It's just being able to process them. But
has Zelensky ever had the power to come in front of Congress and give an hour-and-a-half speech?
So you're not okay with Israel getting money, Anthony?
It's an ally. I mean, if they're allies with America, we give our support to our ally. I mean, I don't understand why all of a sudden we're against our allies. I mean, so if
they're not an ally.
That's the
thing. Are an ally. They're
not an ally. Again, Robert Maxwell stole our nuclear secrets, gave them over to Israel. Israel, when he died, they held a huge fucking ceremonial fucking burial for this dude. Ghislaine's dead. The same guy that helped write textbooks and scientific research journals here in the United States, the fucking rapist, right? Yeah, go figure that they would hold him up in such high regard. Jonathan Pollard ended up spending 30 years because he was stealing our top secret shit and giving it to Israel. They've unalived our fucking soldiers. They have pulled us into wars, countless wars, in fact, cost us $9 trillion over the course of 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan because they lied to us about it. And I'm sorry, but that is not an ally.
When we talk about allies, host, do you know that after Israel, so American government pays, the number one foreign government to be paid by America is Israel. And after that, straight after that, who's the number two country paid off by America? It's Egypt. It's not Ukraine, it's Egypt. Why does America pay Egypt billions of dollars every year? Is to ensure the security and safety of the Israelis.
Right.
Where's Ukraine on that list?
Is that based off of like information, or is it just based off of conspiracy theories?
I mean, I can pull up
we
the
had an
sources.
agreement. We give half of everything we give to Israel. We give half of that to, not half of what we give to Israel, but the number. We also give half of that to Egypt.
And then Jordan.
But under his claim that Israel, it's to secure the safety of Israel for.
It's a peace treaty. So it's a peace treaty between America and Egypt.
We pay so that they can have friends. Basically. Yeah, because those nations did not get along with Israel until we started, helping the dictators in those countries. We started giving them money.
Like in the early 2000s when Egypt had a revolution or something like that?
No, that was in 2011. You're talking about the Arab Spring. No, we're talking way before that. So since 1970 till today, Egypt has been on America's payroll to secure and ensure the safety of the Israelis, as well as Jordan. Jordan has been on the payroll, and it's one of the number one allies in the Middle East for America and Israel, because it shares the biggest border with Israel. Now, the countries that do not take payments from America, like, for example, Lebanon, it has resistance. It is unstable. It is in shambles. For example, Syria, in shambles. Yemen, in shambles. Because they don't want to make a treaty with America, so they fucking pay the price that way.
But whoever wants to make a treaty with America will get billions of dollars. That's the equation when we talk about the Middle East.
And these are also the countries that are constantly having terrorist proxies hide within them. So,
to you, it's terrorist proxies. To them, it's resistance and freedom fighters.
Resistance to what? Just to go out and just
to an oppressive
to run around and just hurt people and terrorize them for no reason.
That doesn't happen. That's not a thing.
It does.
No, Anthony.
Then why did October 7th happen?
Anthony, there is a reason for everything to have happened. Okay, you asked me a very broad question. Why did October 7th happen? Let's just be clear about the state of Palestine, right? Since Israel was created in 1948, it was carved out of another nation that existed where people were at. And when they got there and finally this, officially was done because, the Irgun and Haganah were doing terroristic acts against Palestinians there leading up to this point. But then they forced the Palestinians out of the area that they now claimed was theirs. Those people, that group of people, have never accepted their lot in life, and nor would you have. You wouldn't then tell your children you need to love these people because we're going to just accept what we've been given. They took our land, they took our houses, they unalived our cousin to scare us so that we could leave. These people, the ones that went in there literally would cut open the stomach of pregnant women, throw the babies down the well. All of this is in the congressional record, by the way. These were things reported at the time in 1948 that Israel was doing to Palestinians. It's called the Nakba. And so ever since then, this group of people who had their land stolen from them by another group of people have wanted to at least get back what they originally had, because the borders that you see now are not the same borders that were allotted to Israel in the day, because they've since expanded every couple of years. They take more and more land. So it didn't start with October 7th. These relations have been, not great because of what they did. Instead of coming to somebody else's land, assimilating themselves into there, or just making places for their own and living amongst the people that were already there. Instead of doing that, no. This is ours. God gave it to us because our Bible tells us so. So we're going to take it from you. And if you don't like it, we're going to kill you if you don't leave. And this is all true. Yeah, it's all true.
The ideology was, if we want to exist, we want to make sure the Palestinians do not exist. This is the premise they came in with, And then when the Palestinians ask for what was taken from them back, they get more stuff taken from them, more human rights taken from them. They get stripped of their freedom of transportation, stripped from their freedom of work, freedom of controlling their own water supply, their own electricity supply, freedom of walking on any street they feel like walking on. Discrimination all over. Apartheid. There is a big, huge concrete wall. If you go and you see what's behind that wall from one side and what's behind that wall from another side, you'll be shocked to your core. Because this is the reality over there that you don't see, Anthony.
Yeah, and to actually further drive that home, the West Bank had nothing to do with October 7th. Yet Israel has gone in there, and now they're unaliving people. There was this Israeli settler. They called them settlers, but really they're just terrorists. This I think there was 3 of them, went up after the school had let out in the West Bank and started shooting the kids as they ran across. They killed 2 of them, right? And then so whenever the people started throwing rocks at these guys that were shooting at them, then Israel sends in the military, because now these Palestinians, those damn Palestinians, are throwing fucking rocks. And so they had to send it. This is what they deal with on a daily basis. At any moment, one of those children could just get shot in the head. And it just happens that way. And then if they do anything in response, oh my God, look what these Palestinians are doing to the Israelis. They're just trying to live. No, they're trying to take their shit. And not just trying, but they're doing it.
Okay, but what is that going to do with America? What does the Israeli government, when the feud between Palestine and Gaza, have to do with America?
Well, sadly, we're funding it.
Exactly, man. Didn't we just say?
Funding our ally, and what they use with their money is whatever they do with.
But you're not just funding them with money. You're funding them with blockbusters. You're funding them with tons and tons of ammunition and F-35s, man. What are you talking about?
And confidence. The confidence with which they are able to do these things, knowing for a fact that if they get attacked by somebody for doing the atrocious shit that they do, the United States will be there. We've got you. And so when you know, it's like, you know, you go to a bar, a woman, for example, if she's got a guy there with her, she's more likely to go and yip and yap at other people and start problems because she'll have this person protect them. Right. And we're that person that keeps getting into fights because this other person, woman, man, whatever, keeps getting us into those fucking fights. And I don't want to pay
What
for it.
fights did we get into because of Israel?
Iran. We're bombing in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya,
Syria,
Yemen,
Lebanon.
Somalia, all of you go down the list.
Lebanon.
Everything that we've done in the Middle East was because of Israel.
For that nation.
Yes,
sir.
It's a fact, man.
Are you saying it's a direct correlation to Israel, or is it because that we got intel because Israel has supplied us intel regarding those regions that we had?
We supply the intel to Israel, sir.
Yeah.
The biggest proof of that, sorry, Hot, but the biggest proof of that is that if you search in Lebanon today, America is building an embassy, quote unquote, that is over $1 billion budget for that embassy. And if you look at the building, it's insanely huge. No embassy in the world is built like that. And where is it built? In southern Lebanon, on the border of Lebanon and Israel. Now, if that's not an intelligence hub, I don't know what is. Just go search new Lebanese American embassy built in southern Lebanon and go look at the fucking building. It's insane. Like, we are the ones supplying them with the weapons. We are the ones supplying them with intelligence. We are the ones supplying them with soldiers in Iran that are unalived, American soldiers for them.
And that's why this upsets me so much, because I am opposed to war. I've always been. And now I'm being forced to pay to like unalive people around the country that really just want to be left alone for the most part. And they want fairness and justice. And here I am with my taxpayer money.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Iran were to be left alone, then why didn't they just do their own thing? Why are they out there funding terrorism with Hamas and Hezbollah and what other proxy?
They aren't
creating issues in the Strait, and have always been having, because then they started issues with the other fucking Strait. Damn, it's a weird ass name too. On the other
Anthony.
Does Russia or China?
Okay,
Look,
well,
does Russia
Hassan,
or China?
let Wiggly. Let Wiggly.
Yeah, I just want to ask this. I guess I'm curious. Why, like in the U.S., do we have, little to no issues with Muslims? Like,
right. They don't affect you in your day to day. Right.
Yeah, they don't affect in the day to day, right? So, the way I see it, and I think the reason why a lot of people get upset is because, again, we have almost 10 trillion going to these wars, which it could have been, used here. And we're over there saying that, and even Bush admitted this himself, that a regret was, thinking that you can impose a lifestyle, the American lifestyle, on these countries that don't want it in the first place. It's almost like you going to your neighbor saying, "Hey, you're going to live by my, my rules, even though it's your house." I mean,
my way or the highway.
We have a defense budget, right?
Yeah.
That keeps growing.
It comes out of our defense budget.
And we pay for that, though. That's our money.
It's already been budgeted.
That's our money.
There.
Look, Anthony, you claim Iran is so evil. You claim Iran is so evil, Anthony. Yet, do you see China fighting against Iran? Do you see Russia fighting against Iran? Do you see the European nations fighting against
What is China
Iran?
gaining from? What is China gaining from?
It's not gaining anything, but it's also not losing anything. It's not.
They're buying outside of OPEC, and they're buying oil straight from Iran with their own currency.
Exactly.
So they're getting oil pennies on the dollar.
So they're benefiting. So Iran is not their enemy.
You just said they aren't.
Hold on. To Chinese people, is Iran an evil entity that has to be taken down because they're trying to do uranium enrichment? To the Russians,
Chinese people hate everybody that's not Chinese.
Okay.
It's all about what you could do for China.
That's not true.
Okay, fuck China. let's talk about the Russians. Do the Russians see Iran as an evil entity that needs to be taken down, and are they threatened by their uranium enrichment capabilities? Is the European nations threatened by the uranium enrichment capabilities of Iran? Is the Far East countries like Japan or like Malaysia or like Indonesia, are they threatened? Why is anybody not doing anything except for America? That's the thing, Anthony. Answer me that.
Who are you claiming
And
that
the
is
answer
not
is
threatened?
Israel.
I mean, Iran has been terrorizing that entire region since the 40s.
They haven't.
So what are you talking about?
That's not
No.
true.
No, there's none of that going on.
Anthony, okay, in what way? You said since the 40s.
Since the forming of the damn it, that guy that just got taken out. Damn, what was his name?
Ayatollah
Khomeini?
Ayatollah. Since the forming of the Ayatollah, that entire region has been under control pretty much of Iran because of Iran's influence of terrorism.
Okay, now Ayatollah is
wait.
Ayatollah
Iran
is
has
and
the
his whole
right
region- his
to
whole
control
leadership is
itself in the way that they see fit. I
This
don't
is outside the
I don't
borders of
understand.
Iran. This is they terrorize outside the borders. That's why Lebanon has
They
an issue
don't.
with
Okay, give me an example of what Iran did that terrorized outside of their borders. Just one, please.
their proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah.
Okay, well, that we already covered that, and again, if they were actually
that's part of the
pushing
issue.
them,
No, that actually proves your
It's
point to be
not.
false, sir. Because
They're
It's
pirating
not.
the straits. They're
it's not.
controlling. They're
Okay, so
controlling economic flow.
are you telling me that Russia should be attacking the United States right now? That Russia
they can
needs
try
to
to. That
lob
would be-
a
that would be
nuclear
great.
weapon at us
If you
because
wanna end- if
we
you
are
wanna end that
attacking.
Russian-Ukrainian war, that'd be the best thing to happen.
Well, Anthony, do you believe that we are attacking Russia? Are we, the United States, attacking Russia?
Because in a way,
no, we're
Iran
not
is
directly
Russia's
attacking
proxy.
Russia, but
Are
we're
we
giving,
supporting terrorists to attack Russia?
we're supporting Ukraine. If you call Ukraine, a
Do you
terrorist,
think
sure.
that Russia believes that anybody coming from Ukraine is a terrorist that wants to terrorize them?
No, this is
You
nations
don't?
against nations. This is a
Why do you
military
think
against a
anybody from
military.
Iran-
Okay, so there
Terrorists
you go.
are
They don't see
religiously-
it that way.
I have a radical religious ideology, or
So do they.
or which are affiliated to a government.
That's not true. Radical religious ideology, that is not true, sir. That is not what a terrorist is.
No.
Because I can say Ted Cruz has a radical ideology, religious ideology.
And, yeah, our U.S. government right now has a radical religious ideology. So, you know, if we were going to base it on that, we're the terrorists, which I'd say there's an argument to make that we are.
Israel's whole claim is a radical
But
ideology.
even still,
Israel's whole claim is a religious ideology.
your whole claim is that because Iran supports Hamas, we get to go in there and take over their country and destroy their people and bomb their children. Is that really what you're saying? Why are we not in Gaza bombing them?
Iran posed a direct threat.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you just all of a sudden out of nowhere you're bypassing the proxy to attack the person that you claim is supporting the proxy?
Then why
The
are we all
proxies are
over
not the
Saudi
sole
Arabia?
reason behind it. The proxies are a part of the problem. It just
Why
shows
are we all
So
over Saudi
ignore the
Arabia?
proxies.
the outrage
Because
and violence that Iran portrays.
is the United
this
States
is under the
attacking
logic
Gaza?
that if Iran is going to portray violence through their proxies, what is
They
saying that
aren't.
Iran will not portray violence through their own
They
military and government?
aren't. They aren't. Nothing that Hamas is doing benefits Iran in any way whatsoever. You do
remind
realize that,
Anthony-
right? It benefits them in no way.
Sorry, host. I want to remind Anthony. one
Well, I
thing.
mean, do you understand that, Anthony? That nothing that Hamas does benefits Iran in any way whatsoever. Why would they support somebody and give them money and arms and whatever if what they're doing doesn't benefit them?
Because they align with their religious ideology.
You think it's all? So do they support the UAE?
That entire region
do they
is
support?
heavy,
do they
heavily,
support?
heavily,
Is Iran
heavily
well,
motivated
if
by the
that's,
religious
if that's
ideology.
true? If that's true, is Saudi Arabia and Iran allies?
That I'm not sure.
No.
Sorry, maybe some of them might be, but I don't think the governments get along. No.
Okay, but you just said that they align with Hamas because of their religious ideology. Is it not the same ideology that Saudi Arabia has? Or insert any other Muslim nation?
Part, no, I don't think they align. Now they may still be Islam, they might still be Muslim, but not all Muslims are radicalized.
Thank you. That's the point.
Okay, so you're saying that they only support radical...
I never said all Muslims are radicalized, so Hassan, I'm not really sure where you think you're going with this.
But you claim 90 million Iranians...
I'm not even sure I understand. So your claim is that Iran is supporting Hamas because of radical Islam.
I think that's a very, very strong point, yeah.
Right. And for only that reason, not because they want to attack Israel, and for no other reason, just radical Islam. Oh, you're a radical Islamist.
I mean, Iran probably wants to attack Israel also. I really don't know the dynamics between Iranian government and the Israeli government. But I do know that radical Islam plays a huge factor.
Do you not see how ridiculous... Judaism. Yeah, do you not see how ridiculous that sounds, though, Anthony?
And just to give you a perspective, Anthony, of how ridiculous that sounds, if you were to look into it, Islam has two major sects, Sunni and Shia. The H group in Palestine are Sunnis, all right? The Iranian regime is a very much Shia regime. Sunnis and Shias, regularly, they don't get along. Yet, the Iranian regime, which is a Shia regime, and the H group in Palestine, which is a Sunni Muslim group, they managed to get along because they prioritized the shared enemy they have, and they put the differences that they have as far as Muslim sect goes, they put it on the side, and they prioritized the enemy, which is Israel, which is the occupier, and they work together to benefit that vision of taking out the occupier. And they managed to be successful. Under all the odds being against them, they managed to see a way through that. So when you talk about Islam, just to land here, I'll give you this fact. The country today that has the highest population of Muslims is Malaysia. It is not Iran. It is not Palestine. It is Malaysia, sir. Nothing to do with Islam, what is happening. Nothing to do with radical Islam. If you think that any religion has extremists, then Malaysia, as the highest population of Muslim country, the country with the highest population of Muslims, it must have the most extremists, right? Yet you don't see anything happening in Malaysia. Why? Because it's nothing to do with Islam, sir.
I just looked it up.
So if there was a jihad declared in Malaysia, you don't think that the Islam Brotherhood, which they very well align with that across all of, it doesn't matter what sect, they will rise up? You don't think if there was a jihad declared within the highest level that they wouldn't rise up?
What's the highest level? What does that mean?
Like to where they, I'm not too familiarized with how Islam operates, but I do know that there is a jihad.
You're right.
There is a jihad. There is a jihad against Israel, which is the reason why there are so many radicalized Muslims that are against Israel.
Well, Saudi Arabia is a radicalized Muslim country. They're not attacking Israel?
Yeah. Women were not allowed to drive there.
Yeah, dude, they still do beheadings in Saudi Arabia. You can literally become an executioner to behead people in Saudi Arabia, like today. Like, that's still a thing. And I looked it up, by the way. I looked up Iran's government. Iran's government is Shia. Gaza is Sunni. And so that doesn't even make any sense, what you were saying, that you're radical Islam? Well, I don't care if you're the other sect, but, we're still going to support you because jihad.
They still believe in the same thing. So, I mean, what's it matter of the sects? It's just different of tribes and what they originate from.
Okay, so now all of a sudden you think that there's, they're not, the Muslims, they're always fighting each other, Shia and Sunni. I'm pretty sure it was you up here the other day talking about how Shia and Sunni are always fighting with each other, and that's why Islam is bad.
I don't know the differences between the two.
So Anthony, if you live in a country, or if you live in a region, in a continent, where your neighbors They speak the same language as you. They're, for example, they're Christian Mormons, let's say.
Are they different Muslim? Do they believe in different things? Or are they all?
I thought you just said that it didn't matter. You just said it didn't matter, Anthony.
The point I'm trying to make, Anthony, is this: like
the same religion.
When you're a foreigner, when you're a foreign entity, and you go and you attack a region that has a population that shares a religion, that shares a culture, that shares a language, okay?
Yeah, I got 1% back. My phone's gonna die in a
No
second.
matter how divided they are, when a foreigner attacks them, the natural response is to unify. As a region that shares all these commonalities, they will unify against the foreigner. This is just a fact of the nature of humanity. Like, would you not do the same?
So religion plays no factor in any of these conflicts over there. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think that it does, actually. No, I don't think that it. I don't think that it does. No.
The thing is, the same
I
thing
don't think
goes
that
for
it does
Israel.
actually. I don't think it does.
The forming of Israel was part of the heavy motivated religion aspect of it.
Right.
And the same thing goes for the Muslims,
Yeah.
because the Muslims and the Jewish have never gotten along.
And the Christians, are we bombing little girls in Iran because of Christianity?
That's fake. That's all false news. And
So everybody else is the radical religious things when it's Muslims doing it, but when it's Christians, we don't operate that way because we're different.
when did Christians bomb girls in a school?
We've got Christians running the government, declaring openly that they're doing it because of God, and that they have this.
Girls' school?
What do you mean? We unalived over 160
at the beginning of the war, like
girls from the elementary school.
And what is your source? Iranian news?
No, our own reports.
No. Our own reports did not say we bombed girls' school.
Yeah, just the video.
Yes,
we
our
were
report
bombing
said
in
it was
we were
Tomahawk.
we were bombing in Iran, and then an elementary school gets hit. One right by the places that we're bombing, and Anthony's like, "Yeah, it's fake news. It's fake news." Come on, Wiggly Worm. Go ahead.
They have given no confession saying that they bombed the girls' school. There's zero evidence to prove that they bombed a girls' school. It's all
Did a girls'
Iranian
school get
propaganda.
bombed?
In your reporting,
Did a girls' school
Iranian
get
propaganda.
bombed? Did a girls' school get bombed?
By a rocket that came from the same
Said who?
Base, Iranian base.
Said who?
It was a misfired rocket that came from their own base.
Okay, so think of the pretzeling that one has to do to come to this
It's
conclusion,
not
guys.
pretzeling.
That's the truth. Listen, Anthony. I'm gonna explain it so you can see how ridiculous it sounds. We're currently bombing a base, right, that surrounds this elementary school. We've hit all of these buildings. There's like 5 buildings in this area, except Iran launches a rocket that falls into the only building that we didn't bomb on that same block. Tell me that makes sense. You really think that makes sense, Anthony?
It was a misfired rocket from their own government, from their own people.
Okay.
We even
Double
claimed
down on it.
responsibility.
We
and
did.
claimed
We
that
came
all
out.
older
We came out and
You've
said we did
you've
it.
got no evidence to prove otherwise.
We came out.
All you have
We
is
said we did it, Anthony.
We had intelligence officers.
You nailed it, loudmouth.
No.
We had intelligence officers that's even saying, like, I'm all for saying.
No, we
you
don't
know,
have intelligence officers that say we did it. You're lying.
Well, actually, I didn't even get to finish my statement. I was actually going to back you up a little bit, but we have intelligence officers that said that it could have been outdated of intel that resulted in this on our side. But here's the thing: those types of missiles have the ability to be remote controlled. So before it reaches its destination, it could be diverted. So that's the part that doesn't make sense. So it's plausible, since we have intelligence officials saying that, hey, it is possible that it could have been, a mistake, that we thought there was a base there and it ended up being outdated intel. But again, it doesn't jive for me because it never stopped. So I mean, I could say that I don't know for sure, but I could say that it's more likely than not that the U.S. did it. So.
Yeah, now let me just pull this up to Wiggly's point, let me close this off. U.S. at fault in strike on school in Iran. Preliminary inquiry says, as the New York Times, outdated targeting data may have resulted in a mistaken missile strike. I don't even believe that. I believe we hit it on purpose because turns out that was a school where the military generals' kids went to. We have gone and unalived the grandchildren of these military members. We've done all of these things, and yet when it comes to the other military members, we're like, oh, no, that was mistaken identity. Yeah, undercuts President Trump's assertion that it was Iran that did it. An ongoing military investigation has determined that the United States is responsible for a deadly Tomahawk missile strike on an Iranian elementary school, according to U.S. officials and others familiar with the preliminary findings. I don't know what else to say.
And what I think could even be even more closer to the truth is that we provided the missile to Israel, and they maybe launched the attack, but they decided not to exercise their duty of care because they could have pulled it back before it reached its site. And they said, no, we don't really care. Just get that target out. And I think that says something, not being able to differentiate or, civilian versus a military target.
Oh,
I think
wow.
you always know that.
Anthony, you just got a violation. I don't know what for. If any of you are reporting, please don't. I got to drop you. Let's see. It says Anthony's live content is flagged for misinformation. Repeated violations could result in them being removed from this lot. I mean,
I get that. No, I get that. He kept on inventing and changing the narrative as it went along, and it was starting to sound like his problem was he's not familiar with this.
That's what we're here to do. Right. I don't. That's stupid.
Yeah. No,
that's stupid.
I'm wondering if maybe he was potentially driving, and because sometimes when people drive, you can kind of, TikTok will flag that.
Well, it said misinformation was the reason for it.
That's weird.
But I mean, I have a feeling, Anthony, if you just give it like 10 minutes, I'm sure you can come back with that issue. I don't know. I'm fucking sick of TikTok. Anyway, Rando, what's up? Actually, just Bob. Have you spoken yet? Just Bob?
Hey, Al, I'm sorry. No, I haven't. I had some points for Anthony. I don't know if he's still here, if he's still listening. Some stuff that we passed a while back, but I just wanted, a couple things for him to look up and think about. So the first thing about decapitation in Iran, you should look up the Mosaic Doctrine, which is what the IRGC is currently using to prevent decapitation. And what that is it's, I think, 31 different independently functioning chapters of that military, and they've been planning for this for years. They knew that the U.S. was going to attack them eventually, right? So they basically set up all of these different chapters and different people behind the people at the top, so they can function independently, upon strikes that would take out their individual leaders of wherever they are. So that's the first thing. Anthony, Google the Mosaic Doctrine, and you'll see that decapitation is essentially impossible for the Iranian government because of the way that they have their military set up, is the first thing. The second thing is, you forget where Iran is. Look at it on a map, and it still has plenty of access to Russia and China via railways, okay? So it doesn't get all of its resources from and through the Strait of Hormuz. That's where it does much of its commerce, sure, but there's still railways that go straight to Russia and straight to China from Iran. So they still have enough refined gasoline coming in to at least supply the IRGC, probably not enough to supply their civilian population, but they don't really care about that, right? As we've seen. So they have more than enough supplies coming in to help them outlast the U.S. for whatever kind of conflict they want to outlast us in. So there's the two things. And the third thing I wanted to say was about the U.S. waging a holy war. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, right, has a tattoo on his forearm that says Deus Vult. DEUS space VULT. That means God wills it. And that is a phrase in Latin from the Crusades, from this Crusades in the 800s, the Crusaders would say that when they were invading Jerusalem, meaning God wills it. God wills us to take back the Holy Land. He has confirmed that's what it means. He has confirmed that's what it is. He leads prayers every single day. So to say that he doesn't see himself as some kind of holy warrior trying to take back the Holy Land is insane. He absolutely does. So that's all I have to say. I can drop down. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Bob.
Yeah.
And, appreciate you talking about that. I couldn't remember the name of it, but yeah, the compartmentalization of the military. Very, very good strategy, honestly.
Mosaic doctrine.
It's like,
good shit.
It's like, what do I want to say? Like certain animals that
Thank you, Wiggly and Rando.
Or, like even what do I want to say? Starfish. If you cut a starfish in half, it'll grow into 2 other starfish type situation. So it's decentralized, and most of the cells are acting what do I want to say?
Yeah, acting independently. Yeah.
It's like a swarm. It's like a swarm or a hive mentality. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. No. I mean, no. You were on it, but because they've been planning this for a long time, they knew the United States was going to do this. It was just a matter of time. Oh, thank you, Wiggly. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, please keep tapping. And if you want up, we now got 2 spaces. Rando, welcome in. I think everybody else has spoken. So what's up?
What's going on? I actually came up to clarify that was a Tomahawk that hit the girls' school, and also clarify that the number one, like, school pew-pewers are like Christian men. So to pretend that like Christians haven't hurt children is a wild accusation in and of itself. But I was going to add on to what the last guest was just saying about Heg Sweat's tattoos. He actually has a KFR tattoo on his arm in Arabic, which is kafir, which means like non-believer. And in Islamic faith, there's a hadith that talks about how the Antichrist will come, and you'll know him because he has a KFR tattoo on him. So
anybody that follows him have the same thing, that's like the kafir thing. So
yeah,
it's and all his followers.
And he's also spray painting it on our tanks that are in Syria. So to pretend that like
it's a religious war on their
but
side.
It's not, but they're trying to make it that, you know what I mean?
So Hegseth isn't a real Christian. He's a fake Christian.
There's
If
a key
they
question
believe
here.
it,
Who has
if
the
they-
power?
if they believe it, it is a religious war.
And who has the
Right.
power to to like put the label religious, non-religious, theist, non-theist? Let me remind you, America once labeled Nelson Mandela as a theist, and then when it was beneficial for them, he was labeled a freedom fighter. The same way the current president of Syria today was just 3 years ago one of the most wanted ISIS leaders, a theist, right? But today they took that label away from him, and they put him as the current president of Syria. Why? Because he's an asset, he's an agent to them, and they want to use him now because it's beneficial for their vision of the new Middle East. So these people who have the power to say, well, this group of people represent this, and then whenever it's beneficial for them, no, this group of people doesn't represent it anymore, represent that. Those people should be the ones to question.
Well, I just wanted to add on that, like, I know that they're using the religious framing, but at the end of the day, the reason that we're at war right now is not because of religious disagreements. It's just what historically colonial powers have used to get buy-in, to get support for war, right?
Yeah, the same way Israel claims to be entitled to that land.
I don't think so, because when you say it's a religious war, to me it sounds like Muslims hate Christians, hate Jewish, and that's why they're at war. It's not because of their
But they didn't
religious
attack us.
ideology.
So
just
it's Christians
the
that
framing.
hate Muslims.
It's a tactical war with some religious undertones.
So here is how I would describe it. For the Palestinian people, for example, because I'm Palestinian, I can speak for them. For the Palestinian people, the most effective weapon to have proven to be to give positive results for them, for the Gazans, it is their belief and their faith in their God. Because of their faith in their God, they were resilient enough to last 2 years of genocide. That was their only option, their only weapon to use, is to believe that God wants the best for them, and that at the end of the day, if they're patient, they will succeed, right? But on the other hand, the enemy, his weapon was not only his faith in God. His weapon was blockbusters, was F-35s, was AI. You know, this is when you talk about a religious war. Yes, for the Palestinians, it's absolutely religious because they have nothing else to rely on except for their God, except for their faith. So yeah, to them it is, but to the other side, it's absolutely not. They claim it to be, but it's not.
Yeah, and they've used religion to push colonialism for centuries. you know, and even if like that's not part of the religious doctrine, they still do it. So you could always have said, well, it wasn't about religion; it was about colonialism. But when the vehicle to get there is the religion to, I don't know, give you justification so you don't feel bad. Is it the same? That's kind of like tomato, right?
Right. Well,
I mean, I don't know that it matters, I guess, but
in the whole mix of things, I think the most clear case of weaponized religion is Bibi and the Israelis. That is probably the most weaponized, radicalized group in the whole mix, in my opinion.
Yeah, the biggest example to that is like 20 years of counter-theism war by America against the Muslims, right? Have you ever heard of a single bill being passed in the United States law that protects Muslims from Islamophobia? No. But in the last 2 years, because of the war on Israel, in the last 2 years, because of the conflict of Israel, we have seen more than 30 states pass bills on not allowing you to boycott Israeli companies, on not allowing you to criticize the Israeli government. You'll face actual consequences for that in the United States of America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. So, this is the double standard.
I know it's just framing, but to me it is important because when you say something like religious war, right? Like, I think that we're going to war with Iran because we have theological, ideological differences in what we believe in our faith, and that is why we are disagreeing with these people rather than calling it out for what it is. And it's resource grabs, it's land grabs, it's colonialism, it's power and control. I think that when we say it's a religious war, it takes the onus off who's doing what they're doing, and it kind of masks it and makes people be like, well, what are we going to do? It's just difference of opinion.
But if you if you don't call it a religious war, you're actually protecting religion, which has been dangerous to the majority of the globe since the Abrahamic ones anyway, since the beginning. Right?
I think calling it a religious war does that. I think just slapping a label on it and saying it's a religious rather than calling it for what it is, because when you call it for what it is, people stop looking at why are we fighting them because they believe in Allah and we have God and we have Jesus.
Let me pull this up. This is because really, I mean, the most problematic at this point is Judaism. Not necessarily even Christianity or Islam.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You've been here on game night. You know how I feel.
Yeah, no, I know. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tells CBN News it's very possible that President Trump is a modern-day Esther poised to defend Israel and save the Jewish people. So I've been there before, but this was incredibly special. To be there with the Israeli Prime Minister and Ambassador from the United States to Israel was really an important moment. It was special for me as a Christian. It was special, I think, to show the commitment the U.S. has to this democracy, this Jewish nation of Israel. Like,
I bet it was also special
the people
for him
that are like pulling the levers, some of them do actually like really believe this stuff. And would they do it without this? Possibly, probably, but I don't know.
If you want to, can I give an example of how, yes, they're Hegseth and his fanaticism? Do you guys remember the Did you guys hear about the Pulp Fiction plagiarism that he did?
Yeah.
For one of his prayer sessions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a religious nut.
Do you guys remember when Donald Trump himself went down to Jerusalem when he made Jerusalem the capital of Israel, when it was always considered to be kind of like a neutral area in Palestine?
Yes.
And also Trump also went to the Golan Heights, which is southern Lebanon, northern Palestine. He went and he oversaw the grand opening of his luxury apartment complex called the Trump Heights down there. That is
this in the Golan Heights, or because I know he said that they have sovereignty over the Golan Heights, which is equally
which increases by the day today.
Now, one could say, however, to Rando's point, that these are all strategically done things to incite, quote unquote, Muslims to do something, which then gives justification for a response to that thing. So,
but
I mean,
to Rando's point, look, to Rando's point, when we talk about religious wars, this specific conflict and this specific country will always be considered a religious war. Why? Because it ties together all three biblical religions in one city. Like Jerusalem holds the holiest site for Muslims, the holiest site for Christians, the holiest site for Jews. And for that reason, it's kind of like a curse by God. It's like either you all coexist there happily, or it's always going to be a region where conflict will exist. And history has proven for us that Jerusalem has been conquered and unconquered and conquered and unconquered as long as we can remember. And it will stay like this.
Well, sorry, go ahead and finish. I was going to answer somebody's question when you were done.
Yeah, like to land the plane, in my opinion, I think as long as Christians, Muslims, and Jews cannot concede that city is for all of them as biblical religions, then this will never stop, man. It will never stop. And as far as I know, Christians and Muslims have gone to an agreement. They coexist there. Muslim Palestinians, Christian Palestinians, Muslim Jews, Christian Muslim Israelis, Christian Israelis, they all are okay with the status quo, except for the Jewish religion. They're not
mine
for
it's all theirs,
in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean you're absolutely right. And now, because Aaron asked, Tel Aviv was the capital, right? So this is kind of interesting because the world recognized Tel Aviv as the capital, but I think since late 40s or 50s, Israel declared Jerusalem their capital. The U.S. just made it official.
And then Trump just made it official in about, I think, 2018, was it?
Right, but the world looked at Israel and Tel Aviv as the capital. The U.S. for sure.
United Nations,
because the ramifications of what he did was so egregious that they get to control all of the history of that and these religions. It's really just fucking gross. I mean, and now they got their fucking red heifers and shit, and these, some of these people are really ate up with it. I mean, it really is just kind of gross.
So many Palestinians who lived in Jerusalem, Israeli citizen Palestinians who lived in Jerusalem, they were displaced out of their homes because of that decision. They were not allowed to walk certain streets because of that decision.
Really?
Their businesses were shut down because of that decision. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't know about the direct impacts of it. Just the religious ramifications of it were really gross. But so they actually were kicking people out.
Yeah. They were reorganizing the whole region. Yeah, man.
They're like, we got another excuse to kick Palestinians out of their fucking. These are some scumbucket pieces of shit, guys.
Hebron is another example. If you look into Hebron and the way Hebron has been reshaped is insane. When they don't have any actual, like in the United Nations, they're not allowed. In international law, it's considered settling illegal settlements, etc., etc.
Violation of Geneva Conventions.
Yeah, yet it's so easy for them to discredit all that and put it on the side and keep doing what they're doing and expand. And now they're talking about Greater Israel Project. The audacity, man, this is what drives me nuts, is that the more the whole world as a human race pushes back on these people, the more these people are confident to commit more atrocities. How does that make sense?
Yeah, there's Palestinian families in Hebron who can't even use their front door. They have to climb in through a ladder into the back of their house because the front of the house is on a street that they're not allowed to be on.
And then they say, why did we do October 7th?
I think we all know why. Like the same reason that the indigenous of this country continue to fight some 400 years later.
The same
Just
reason
a
the
reminder,
Irish.
just a reminder, Al-Aqsa flood was a valid military operation in which 19 outposts and military bases were targeted.
100%.
Right. That's something else I often, just don't really think about, but they absolutely did hit military targets.
No, almost every single one. I have a list. I can share it with you. I'm going to do a live actually.
But they did the what was the fucking what was the name of that festival called? What was it called?
Okay, so I can explain this very well. So where the Nova Festival sits right next to and in between two very distinct full military bases.
Right.
And Reem is the closest one. RE''IM. And the way they set it up, hang on, Hassan. The way they set it up was the reason they were able to breach the fence is because they sent up drones first thing, and those drones went and dropped on the cameras and the satellites and the imagery that was watching the fence. It's the only way that they could get by those surveillance outposts along the seam line, right? So they sent the drones up because they were the only things that couldn't be tracked. Dropped, knocked out the satellites, then came over. And then all of those kibbutzes were like rapid response security outposts. They were stocked with
except that
civilians. Day. No, they actually. So there were alarms going off at 6:30 in the morning. There were people responding to the fence very early on. It just wasn't like when they say they didn't respond for 6 hours. They're talking about like the kibbutzes and the military outposts that were overrun. But there was fighting in the Gaza envelope like 7 o'clock in the morning. So the way they did was they knocked out the satellites and then they set their paragliders to go up over Reem and land in the empty field that was behind Reem and then push back towards Gaza and take the base that way. The field that they planned to land on, all of a sudden, 2 days prior, had a festival moved there. So they were already set on landing there. There was no like taking it back. In fact, when they there were people that testified that or came out with stories on the age group side that when they landed, they saw groups of people with weapons because it was an IDF festival. A lot of those people were off-duty IDF and also settlers.
Keyword, IDF festival.
Yes. Settlers carry weapons. So when you are engaged in a military operation, anybody openly carrying and then firing at somebody becomes a valid military target, whether they are a civilian or not. They become an armed combatant under international law. So they said that when they landed, they saw a bunch of people like gathered around. They thought they were soldiers from the military base because, again, where they landed sits directly in between two military bases and an outpost.
Yeah.
So all of those outposts, they were stocked. The kibbutzes are actually called Rapid Response Security Teams, RRSTs, and they are fully funded, stocked, and protected by the IDF, therefore making them, again, valid military outposts. Some of them had watchtowers. I can go through the whole list. I have it.
Yeah,
I have
it makes sense, Randall.
And what was there.
Like logically, if you think about it, who would reside in kibbutzes that are outside of Gaza? Wouldn't it be the soldiers that are stationed in those outposts?
They're not soldiers.
I didn't know it was an IDF festival.
It's not an IDF festival, sir. Every single person that
the IDF okayed
it. Yeah, they're IDF personnel. Like anybody that resides around Gaza,
and
no innocent civilian
that's
who
another
doesn't
thing.
participate.
That's another thing is that they have mandatory military service. So anybody of a certain age, most likely IDF.
Yeah, there's exceptions to conscription, right? And if they don't serve, then they're not IDF.
But if they don't serve, they won't be around Gaza.
They're Haredi,
and they're residing in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I understand that. So what I'm saying is those kibbutzes that sit along the seam line, you can actually look this up. They're called fence proximate or border proximate settlements. And they're literally defined as the first line of counter-Teism against rocket fire and ground infiltrations. And they're set up and stocked by the ITF. They all have arsenals on site. That's why they all have safe rooms. They're set to be the first line of defense. It's
their fault
nobody's
that
fault
they
that
decided to
Israel
party.
decided to put playgrounds in there with them.
Exactly. The fact they decided to party and to rave on that day is not the fault of the resistance fighters.
Yeah, it was also Shabbat, not for nothing. They weren't supposed to have music.
So I just looked it up. It says 32.9% of men and 44.3% of women receive exemptions. So the vast majority of them do not receive exemptions. So.
Right, but
Well-
if you're off duty military, say you did your conscription, you served, and now you're a bartender, you're no longer a valid military target just because you served 10 years ago. To be a valid military target, you either have to be active duty military or you need to be an armed combatant and meet the requirements of armed combatant status under the Geneva Convention, which is anybody who is displaying an insignia or openly carrying a weapon.
Now,
Which,
do you have...
that's defined by Additional Protocol 1, Article 44, guerrilla warfare.
Now, do you have sources to the what you've said?
You've got a lot of background
Yeah,
noise.
I have a spreadsheet with every single person who was unalived on October 7th and their status and the links that show, like, so there was
Well, I mean that they were armed and stuff, because I hadn't heard. Because even with the reporting said that there were unarmed security forces there, but that didn't really make sense. But if you have something that says different,
I can give you
I'd
some
appreciate it.
names. I can literally give. I have a spreadsheet with something like 1,200 rows that shows who everybody was, first name, last name, age, where they were from, where they were living, the circumstances surrounding their unalivement, and then links to all of the news articles that I used to group this equipment or this information.
Nice.
Give me a second. I'll find you a name and you can Google it right now.
Yeah, I mean, would you mind sharing that so that I could peruse that myself, or is that something you keep for yourself?
That's a me thing and it's not done, but I will eventually release it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a great resource, and I would love to when you get
she
done.
can give us an example for now.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because I don't know like the names of the people that were unalive. But Abir, welcome back. Good to see you. Healthy opposition is good, and I appreciate you being back.
Yeah, how are you?
We're good. We're be wrapping up here in an hour or so.
You can look up how many people in the festival were actually armed, and they were wearing all uniforms. They were all wearing uniform. You can look it up. Look it up on Google. Open a request and see the uniform.
Here, I got a name for you. You can Google it right now. This guy.
Okay.
Ito Edry.
Well, hold on, Catalyst. She's about to give me a name. Say it again, Rando.
I put it in the chat. Ito Edry. Look him up. He's listed as a civilian casualty.
Okay.
He's
Edry,
actually
off-duty Shin Bet. Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
It was as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Not even.
Literally, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Innocent. This motherfucker is far from innocent.
Oh, here's one. You know the girl that they had the body in Bar Haman?
Shani
For those who don't know,
No, look at Shani Luke.
Hold on. For those who don't know what Shin Bet is, can you explain to them, Rando, what Shin Bet is?
Yeah, it's like a fucking intelligence agency, essentially.
Yeah, it's one of the branches of the idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's more for domestic stuff than international stuff, but it's still intelligence. Yeah, I guess FBI would be a good comparison.
Shin Bet is internal, similar to FBI, and Mossad is external, similar to CIA.
Okay.
Exactly.
Anybody? Let me ask you this: anybody that's like it's a veteran that already finished their service are okay to unalive in America, right?
Huh?
every veteran that already finished his service.
We're not talking about retired veterans here. We're talking.
If they're off duty and somebody like comes and attacks us, like puts boots on the ground, and they're walking around with military armament, of course they would be legitimate war
No,
targets.
they're not with military armament. They're not with military.
If they have a weapon, they are armed combatants under the Geneva Convention.
Even if they aren't military,
One second. Can you check on ChatGPT how many people are actually armed in the festival?
how many people are armed in the festival?
We're armed. Yeah, they were dancing with their M16.
Like I just said to Rando, all the reporting that I have seen up to this point, because what she was saying is new to me. I've always read that it was unarmed security, but she's saying that there's something different, and that's what we were getting to. Because look, the U.S. media to me will lie about Israel and paint them in a good light.
Even CNN. Yes,
right,
I agree
and
with
so
this is
if
news to me, we did not. Right, Loudmouth. We didn't get this side of anything.
Right, that's the first time I'm hearing this
at all.
Right, and that's why I'm trying to figure it out.
It's a lie. Every time when you hear it the first time, it's a lie, but it's okay. She can.
No. Hold on.
She can speak whatever lie she wants.
Let me ask the host a question.
The lady is in love with the Palestinian guy. She kisses him every day.
He always targets personally the people that. Yeah, forget.
Are you talking about
that.
me?
Yeah. He said that you're obsessed with Palestinians.
With a Palestinian, and you kiss them every day. I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Go on my profile. You can see all the kisses that she gives him every day. You can see.
Oh,
the
he's
kisses.
talking about my best friend Saeed and my future husband when I moved to
Saeed.
Gaza. Yes, there's one Palestinian man I will kiss.
Okay,
She's gonna
that's
marry
funny.
the guy from Gaza.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
It's
He's
great.
jealous.
I love it.
Let me throw.
You have videos of your page of me kissing,
You should go
like blowing
to
kisses at people. What is wrong with you?
Abir, calm down.
Wait.
Let me ask the host a question.
Me?
Wait. Real quick. Abir, you have videos of her on your profile?
No, not on my profile. I just saw it. It's like it's
so you're talking about her profile, because I thought you said to go look at your profile.
Her profile.
Oh,
Go ahead and
okay.
live in Gaza and cover
I
your
was
face
like,
with a
I was like, bro, what? That's kind of creepy,
Wait,
man.
I'm kissing somebody in my profile?
Yes.
Are you sure?
So fucking
Yes.
what? So fucking what, bro? It's her
So
profile.
what? It's okay. You
Yeah.
can love Saeed. You can go and marry him. It's fine. It's no problem.
I will. Inshallah.
Then why bring it up? Why bring it up? I don't get it.
I think because
So what's
she
your
has a,
take
she
on
has a
things,
narrative.
Abir? What's your
She's like-
take on
she's
the
not-
Iran
she's-
war?
She's
Now
silent.
let's not focus ad hominem. Okay? What's your take on Iran?
She has a narrative.
What
For the
is
record, I just
your
want to make this very
take
clear to the
on
50 people
Iran?
watching. I am
She's
totally in love
biased.
with Saeed. I love him so much. And Abir is just jealous because he sounds like he doesn't get any pussy.
Married. He has kids already.
And look, we celebrate.
Incel.
You're gonna be the third wife. You're gonna be the third
Good
wife.
job,
I'm
Saeed.
the second wife. Get it correct,
You're
please.
gonna be second
Are you
wife.
Kudos,
like a
Saeed.
He-Man woman hater, Abir? He's a He-Man woman hater.
He-Man Woman Haters Club.
There you go.
She's gonna be second wife.
Isn't that off of
Schoolyard rules. We'll
what's
play
that movie?
Schoolyard.
What's that from? What movie is that from? Little Rascals or
The Goonies.
is that the Goonies? No, the He-Man Woman Haters Club. I think that's a thing on a movie.
The He-Man woman haters bloke. Yeah. No girls allowed.
You can be second wife. You can be second wife.
Sandlot
It's
or
nice.
something. One of those videos. Anyway, or movies.
Yeah.
Go be Saeed.
You've been
second
hanging
wife.
out with RFK too
I
much.
have
Your
an
voice is
actual
starting to sound like him. You're you've been getting into too much booger
Little
sugar
Rascals.
up at
Thank you,
Little
Bunny.
Rascals. Or you
Thank
got
you,
a
buddy.
brainworm going
It's
on
good
there.
to
So.
be someone's second wife. It's good to be someone's second wife.
What's wrong with
Yeah, I
that?
got a pocket right here you can grab onto, buddy.
What's wrong with that? I've got a pocket right now.
This escalated. I'm sorry,
What's wrong with being a second wife?
We're in a trash talking. It's trash.
Look, it's okay. I mean, if we ain't laughing, what else are we doing? We're bitching, I'm sure.
Listen, I might not want to give it up every night. I like having a partner in crime. Somebody to share the housework.
Hell yeah.
No.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, he does housework and all that shit?
No, the other wife
That's a
does
keeper.
housework.
The other wife?
The other what?
The first wife.
Oh!
You got wives
Can I
and
explain-
husbands? What is that called if you have
No,
wives and
I
husbands?
just have the one. I just have the one.
Like if a woman is married to,
I
you know,
do not want to juggle two women.
Women and men. What I mean, aside from an orgy, I guess you could call it. Is there a name for that? You know, because we have like polyamory, polygamy.
There's polyamory.
What would that be? I'm gonna look it up.
I knew a guy who was in a
It's actually not allowed.
It's just polyamory. Okay.
It's allowed.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Is it unprecedented? If I tell you, Israeli settlers in the West Bank, they walk around with their weapons on their waist. Is that something that you would believe? Is it far-fetched?
No.
What do you mean?
I mean, almost all Israeli settlers that are settling in the West Bank, every single one of them has a firearm, and usually when they go to breakfast, they take that firearm with them. Actually, when they go to synagogues, they take the firearm with them. We have seen that in documentaries such as The Settlers, a BBC documentary.
Texas, everybody goes with a firearm.
Yeah,
In Texas,
yeah.
it's okay
Funny
to
enough,
go with
you
a
should
firearm.
mention that because that settler was actually from Texas.
Yes, in Texas it's normal, man. all the
in Texas,
try to go
you get
there
a
as a
free
liberal.
fifth
They're
of
gonna,
whiskey
they're gonna,
with every-
Okay,
you get a
I
gun
can't
with every
hear.
fifth of whiskey you
I
buy.
can't hear what's going on. We got background
question was
noise
addressed
and then
to you,
like
Hope.
3 people talking. Okay, well, I didn't hear the question. What's
Yeah,
going on?
well, the question is that, like, is it unprecedented or is it believable to
to
say?
have a concealed weapon in America. Is it,
We're not talking about
unprecedented?
America. We're talking about Israel. Israeli settlers in the West Bank.
But what about America? What's wrong with America?
Let me just present the question to the host, Abir.
Yeah, go ahead, Hassan.
Thank you. So, settlers in the West Bank, Israeli settlers in the West Bank, they carry their firearms that are supplied by Ben Gvir every single day, wherever they go. It is something that is not new. It is something
For
that we have all seen.
self-defense, of course, for self-defense. It's
Okay,
called
so what's the
self-defense,
question?
Of course.
So, with that being said,
Is it okay to wear?
No. If we agree that settlers in the West Bank they carry their firearms everywhere they go,
We don't
why
agree
is
with
it
that.
hard?
No, we don't agree with that.
You don't agree, but the rest does. Why
don't
is it
agree with
hard
that.
to believe that the Israelis surrounding Gaza kibbutz would have their firearm with them everywhere they go, anywhere
Because
they go?
it's
This
because
is the
one
question.
one is inside
It's
the
not
country
hard to
and one is
believe.
outside the country.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
no,
hard
no.
to believe.
The West Bank is not
Yeah.
inside the country. The Be'eri is inside the country. So,
This is the story
not-
of 2 civilians who literally took IDF advice over the phone and operated weapons to launch back on during Al-Aqsa flood. These 2 brothers are actually named as civilians on the list, but they're literally using weapons, including a tank.
These
For
are
the IDF.
wow.
in the Nova Festival. They were not in the
Wait,
festival.
at Nova? It
At
says
Nova.
at Nova.
At Nova.
They saved the Nova Festival people.
No,
but
they
they're
were
not
at
from
the
No,
Nova.
no.
They were
What
at
are their
the
names?
Read.
I
What
put
are-
them in the chat.
Okay. Let me see.
Daniel and Naria
They saved
Shariba.
the Nova Festival.
Yeah,
They saved it. They
the
saved.
Nova Music Festival.
They saved the people from the Nova Festival. They saved them. They're
Not
from the military.
At, not from.
They saved them.
At.
He's saying that those
I'm sorry
brothers
you're
had
not as
saved.
intelligent as my husband.
Yeah, 2
or
brothers.
his wife.
Yeah, here, let's read it real
your
quick.
husband
2
Saeed.
brothers, it says 2 brothers saved dozens of lives during the massacre by Hamas terrorists at the Supernova Music Festival on October 7th by providing fire cover for escapees with weapons they found in a tank while receiving instructions over the phone. So they had weapons. They couldn't have done that without weapons, Abir.
No, the weapon was in a tank.
But they took
The,
them
the
and they
weapon
used
was.
them.
You just
The
read it. The weapon
weapons-
was in a tank.
Oh, they just
giving
wait.
instructions.
So
A
they
beer.
found
I can tell you this for a fact. In the United States, we're
Yes.
very militaristic. I have never happened upon a tank with weapons inside of it anywhere in the United
But you
States.
just read
Are you
it.
telling
You just
me?
read it. They found
Are
it
you
inside the
telling
tank.
me? Are you telling me that there was just a random tank with random weapons inside
just
of
read
it,
it.
just parked
You just read it,
somewhere
right?
at the festival?
Did you read it or not?
Yeah, do you listen? Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
you're.
we believe it.
Listen to what I'm
You're missing
saying.
the
The point is, yes, listen, Abir, stop talking and listen.
Listen to what you read, man.
Okay, I'm going to mute you now. Listen, because if that is true and you believe that it's true, that means that tank was put there on purpose by the military to do exactly what just happened.
They knew October 7 is coming, so
That's
they put the tank
right.
with the weapon inside. Yeah, you're right. You're so stupid, man. You're
They
so
did
dumb.
actually. The idea
You're
of
so
putting
dumb.
on
That's
the
my
Nova
point.
Festival. Hang on, I have
They
that
knew
too.
they knew the October 7 is coming, so they put a tank with weapon inside. You're
They
so
did.
dumb,
They
man.
did.
You're
They
so
let
dumb.
right in the very early
Right.
hours of the morning, actually.
You are so dumb.
But they
You
didn't
guys are
actually
so dumb.
let
You
the
guys,
troops at the
hopefully,
border know.
you will never
that
go
this is-
back to a president. You will never have a
Abir,
president in the United States.
Abir,
Liberal
how is
hopefully
it?
will never have a
Okay,
president.
so Abir is calling
You are
us
so
dumb.
dumb, man. You are
Okay,
such a
you're
dumb
calling
person.
us dumb for reading an article and making
They put-
deductive
they put a-
reasoning to determine that the tank was placed there purposely.
They left weapons inside the tank
But the
because they knew it's
claim,
coming. They knew October
Abir,
7 is
the
coming.
claim was that, and you even made this claim, you even rebutted what Rando was saying. The claim was that nobody was armed. These Hamas terrorists came in there and started blasting away at innocent civilians who were unarmed. That's the claim. And yet now we know,
Look
that
it
there
up.
was a tank and there were weapons, and many of the people that were
Inside the
unalive
festival.
were
Inside
actually
the area of the
off-duty military and intelligence members. So I'm sorry, but that's bullshit what you're saying.
Look at the
Rando is
people
right.
in the party. Look at the people in the festival. They were not armed. They were not armed. You're
Yeah,
so dumb.
they
man. You're so
were.
dumb. You're such a
Yes, they
hateful.
were. You just read that
such
they
a
were
hateful-
Two of them
armed.
had a tank.
Yeah, they were
Really,
armed.
they were
No,
armed.
they found it in a tank. Yeah, Ahbab, they found it in a tank.
Abir, are you telling me that random? Hold on. Are you telling
You
me,
are so
Abir, are you telling me that a random tank was open and unlocked, just
Yes,
parked
that's
randomly
what I
somewhere?
read. I just read it like you, man.
Okay, so how dumb is Israel to just leave a tank open
It's
with
dumb.
weapons inside of it? Are you saying
To
that
be-
Israel
to
is
be
that
fair,
dumb?
age group
members.
To be
That's
fair,
what I
age group
read
has
like you.
destroyed
We
most
read it
of their
from the article.
Merkavas,
That's what
so
we
they're
know. We
running
don't know
low.
anything else.
How stupid is that?
We both read it from the article.
Like, just
Okay,
go.
stupid, but we both
Just,
read it from the article.
hey, just take that tank, just park it over there. It'll be fine. Don't worry about locking it either. We're just getting our military assets. America pays for it anyway. We'll get more out of them. Fuck it.
Yeah, there's another Merkava just
You're
down
so
the street.
dumb, man.
Don't worry
You're
about it.
such a dumb person, man. You're so
How?
dumb.
Explain. Explain. Abir.
Because they did not have a weapon. They found it in a tank.
So does tanks grow on trees in Israel? Tanks
Right.
grow on trees?
What do you mean?
He says that because you just said that they were armed. We just read the article saying that they grabbed weapons and were firing at the
From
quote
the tank.
terrorists,
From
and
the
we're
tank.
dumb.
From the tank.
What about all the ones
From
that the
the
IDF
tank.
unalived
Just
that day?
randomly,
From the tank.
that
These
just randomly
weapons were
appeared.
inside
It
the
just,
tank.
just oh guys, look, there's a random tank. Let's look
spawned
inside
in.
of it.
They're
Look,
playing
there's
GTA
weapons
6, bro.
inside this
That's
tank.
GTA. They put in a cheat code and then a tank comes up from the sky, you know?
Right, up, down, left, BYX. I mean, come on.
Neighbor, you got to keep up. You got to keep up. She just said that they moved the festival to that location later on. They moved that festival, Aber. Dude,
That's
are you paying
crazy.
attention to what
Well, I
we're
just
even
showed
saying?
it. Lib, if you pull me up big screen again, you can even
Yeah.
say even Times of Israel admitted that the H group made a wrong turn and ended up at the Nova Festival.
They made a wrong turn. And that's the
Military
reason why they
made-
unalive everybody.
Again, Times of Israel.
They made the wrong
Times of
turn,
Israel.
and that's why they unalive all of them. All of the
100
festival
H group
dancers.
terrorists ended up there after making a wrong turn en route to
If you have
Netbiot,
if
which
you
is
make
a
the wrong turn, why
military
do you have to
base.
kill?
A beer.
Hey, Rando, can you look up the?
You got
I
to
thought I
wrong
read
turn, why you
somewhere.
have to kill the people, the civilians.
I thought I read
the
somewhere.
civilians? Okay, I have
Yes,
civilians.
there were also a
I
lot
have
of
ones
people that were not
actually-
from Israel. There were a lot of people from outside of Israel in this festival.
I know. No, I know that.
You
Hold
know
on.
what?
I have,
You know that, so
You know what this makes me believe, guys?
There was a lot of people from Germany in this festival.
And I've always assumed that this was true, but now this is really starting to paint that picture that they absolutely knew that what was going to happen and may have actually caused it themselves.
They didn't cause it themselves.
That Israel either knew it was going to happen,
let the chaos play out,
or they did it themselves, just like 911.
So this
Like
guy
they suggested it to the age group.
So this
Really?
guy, Adi
Right.
Ohana from Moshav Makramet, I don't know how to say that. This guy was on his way home from work, and IDF mistook him for age group and just boomed his car. But he's counted as being unalived by age group that day. There's plenty of them, actually.
What
I
is
have a
the
whole
source?
column
Where'd you
that's
get the
tagged
source?
as,
Where'd you get the source from?
Hang on. Hold on. Let me go to the next column,
Does
bro.
it also have a
Where'd you
list
get the
of all
source?
of the beheaded, infants?
Let's see. It's probably this one. Let me go. I have all my links in here. Don't worry. I know you guys love asking for links.
But they never like to provide them.
Yeah, I think this one was the October 7th map. I got it from. I had 2 links from this guy. So let's take a look.
Y'all, this shit is just so, at this point,
That's where he was.
they're just playing right in our faces and wanting us to be stupid as fuck. I just, this is
You are
crazy.
stupid as fuck when you were born, man.
Translate this to
Okay,
English.
Abir.
'Cause I don't do squigglies.
You were born stupid as fuck.
This is the same. Look, this is the same kind of incompetence we talk about. Like.
Here we go. He was on his way home
Screaming.
when he was mistaken and boomed by the IDF.
Yeah, near
He left his
Kabutzim.
shift at the power plant. A
Near
border
Kabutzim.
police checkpoint was set
Near
up
Kabutzim.
near the
Yeah. Stalking, bro.
kibbutzim. Yeah, that's where he's from. I said that. I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Near Kabutzim.
Yeah, he was on his way from Ashkelon. The police officers thought he was a terrorist. He tried to turn his car around and run away, but the police officers ended up booming. They boomed him dead.
It's called friendly fire.
No, it's
Friendly
called
fire.
Hannibal Directive.
It is. It is.
It's called
It's
Hannibal
friendly
Directive.
fire. He's
Hannibal
technically
Directive.
tagged as friendly fire.
When you're in this situation, you don't know who's there.
That's gross, man.
Abir,
Friendly
why
fire.
are you
Listen to
simping
you.
why are you simping for a group that is known and proud of atrocities?
Especially when you
Why
claim to
would
be
you do
pro-Palestinian.
Oh, also fun fact:
Friendly fire.
a lot of those safe
Friendly
rooms
fire,
in the
yeah.
RRSTs didn't have locking doors or doors. They put these people as the front lines of counter-Teism, and then they didn't give them locking doors in their safe room.
Because those safe rooms are only for rockets, not for
Clearly,
animals
clearly
with
they don't do
Kalashnikov.
well during
They're
Al-Aqsa.
not for. They're not supposed to have.
It sounds
animals
like
with
Israel.
Kalashnikov there.
It sounds like Israel didn't do a proper internal
They
security.
were only
list.
prepared for missile. They're not prepared for attack.
Well,
So
then why
that
did
makes them
they have? Then
incompetent.
why did they have armories with pew-pews there in
didn't
those
have it.
kibbutzes?
Also, I thought the Iron Dome was to take care of the missiles, not the IDF. What are you
Both,
talking
not
about?
the IDF.
I have all the
Yeah.
names.
Why would the IDF soldiers be taking control of missiles when they have a $1 billion
No, it wasn't
machine?
the IDF. She's not. She's talking about those special rooms. Are you stupid? You're so dumb, man. You're like from Jordan.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
Is that all you
yeah,
can
you're
say,
the-
bro?
you're-
Is that all
yeah,
you
he's
can
the only
say?
one who is a genius, and we're all retarded, and
Yeah,
we're all dumb.
You are retarded,
Okay,
man. You
we
are
can't
retarded.
say the R word. TikTok will get you for that. Beer, are you just trying to get the live taken down? Like
This guy
if
said
all
the
you
word.
have
Why
is
you
you're
want from me?
dumb, you're stupid.
He said that word. He
We
said
don't
that word.
need
What do
that.
you want from me?
Oh, what's this? What does this say?
What?
What does this say?
You what, a beer?
He said that word, not me.
No, you've been calling everyone dumb and stupid, including me.
Yeah, you said yourself
What
that
is
you
the
are dumb
point?
and stupid.
Okay, the gaslighting. Are you an Israeli?
No, I'm not an Israeli. What are you,
You
talking
sound
about?
like one.
I'm Pakistani.
Yeah, you sound like a Zio.
Yes, okay.
Are you a hard Zio?
No, I'm not a Zio. I'm a Pakistani.
You represent nothing about Pakistan.
Yes,
Yeah, you're not doing Pakistan any favors right now, I gotta say.
I know. I'm doing you a favor as a fucking liberal.
Thanks for hiding Bin Laden all those years, buddy.
Pew pew's fired.
You know what Bin
That's
Laden's
crazy.
last words were? His last words were, no, 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 no.
I didn't drop him, by the way. He did that earlier. But look, a beer, like you know that you're cooked when you just are. Oh, you're just so dumb. You're just so dumb. Like repeating that over and over again. It's really just annoying, honestly. But
You
either
shouldn't
way,
have started off by talking about my husband because that made me bring out the spreadsheet. Okay.
Yeah, right. That was creepy. First and foremost, I rarely ever look into someone's profile unless they're like showing
Intriguing
signs
in
of
some way,
being
you know?
very disingenuous.
Yeah.
But that's just creepy, man.
Very.
Well, I looked on your profile and she's married to a Palestinian and on and like.
None
what
of
the
that
fuck
is on
wrong
my
with you, dude?
profile, y'all. None of that is on my profile.
And what point are you trying to make?
He's a Zio for sure. He's probably getting paid. He's
Zios.
probably an Israeli fucking Mossad agent in Pakistan.
If you really look at who Rando is talking about, that guy Saeed, he's a gentleman in Gaza who is taking care of I don't know 5-6 children.
4.
4 children. I mean the situation, the last 2 years, what this guy had to go through, how many times he was displaced, how many times he had to move his tent from one state zone, quote unquote, to another.
So Saeed is from
Yeah.
Jabalia in North Gaza. He lives about
Thank
a
you
quarter
for the
mile.
follow.
He lives about a quarter mile from the yellow line. He's got 4 kids, ranging from a 13-year-old girl down to a 3-month-old baby. He lives in the
Saeed.
Saeed, yeah. He lives in the boomed out remnants of his family home. They've put like pieces of tarp up to cover like the holes in the walls.
Thank you,
And we do
Catalyst.
what we can. We do what we can. I do what I can to support it.
And
I love
I've
it.
never seen somebody smile. The amount of times this guy smiles with all the shit that he's been through, bro. He loves life so much. He's still hopeful. He still is resilient. He is still positive about all of that. I swear to God, man, I've been on his live sometimes, and I feel so guilty when I don't have coins to participate and to back him up. And I tell him, I'm sorry, I apologize, and you should listen to how he responds to me. He says, Hassan, just the fact that you are up here makes me smile. I'm glad that you are here. Tell me, how is your life going? He's asking about how my situation is going when he is living in hell, bro. This is the kind of people that Rando falls in love with. I don't blame her. I'll fall in love with a person
All
like
right,
that
back
too,
off.
bro.
Saeed's mine.
But you see, man, like, I can't stress that enough, bro. These people are incredible. They have a soul that you will never ever meet somebody like these people, man.
Yeah, I wonder.
We cannot last one day. We cannot last one day in Gaza. These guys have lasted 2 years and they're still going.
Yeah, and
More than that, right? It happened long before October 7th.
Yeah, I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel because the world has started to wake the fuck up. We're not moving fast enough, I don't think, but people are starting to wake up. I think even more so than ever before, and so that's a glimmer of hope for the people. Sadly, they're having to deal with what they're having to deal with. It's a fucking tragedy. It's just absolutely atrocious. And like Abir was up here earlier. He was like, you just want America to lose. Wasn't that Abir? I think that was Abir. It may have been somebody else. But it's like, wait, if we don't unalive like...
No, Anthony. Like Anthony.
Was
Anthony,
it? No, I don't think it was
Anthony.
Anthony saying that, though, was it?
I think it was both of them.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony said that. He usually,
I mean,
he
they
usually
were both
doesn't.
definitely symbols for the status quo.
Hey, Liv and
Yeah.
Rando, and anybody else who might know the answer to this.
What's up?
What's the veracity of that? So back to the October 7th. What's the veracity that the IDF helicopters basically did cleanup on both sides at the end of that event, correct?
I have
They basically
that.
just
I have
indiscriminately
it.
fired upon.
Very
The Hannibal
likely.
Directive.
No, I
Hannibal
have it in an
Directive
article.
will tell you all about that.
That.
I have.
Yes.
I have everything. I have
And
everything that could ever.
reports. Yeah, from
Yeah.
people on the ground. They interviewed one of them. They were like, they were being shot at by the IDF soldiers. One of the hostages, quote unquote hostages, said that.
There is a, where is it?
Yeah, and the tanks
Netanyahu was smiling from cheek
hit
to
those.
cheek after that.
I mean, think of how weird this is, guys. Where in a beer kind of showcase this a little bit, where you can unalive yourself. Say it's just friendly fire, take zero accountability for it. You can unalive other people and say, yeah, but they didn't like us first, take no accountability for it. Nothing that they do, they ever take accountability for in any way whatsoever. Unalive people on the boat, oh, we didn't know it was one of the United States boats. Steal the fucking documents. Well, you know, it's just one of those things that happens. It's just what countries do with each other. Fucking weird, man. They exist in a weird space.
When Palestinians decide to do something about it, oh, look at us! Look
at the terrorists! Terrorists!
Yeah,
this is the second H cost.
This is a great article. If you want to screenshot this and then go read it, but it literally breaks down every bit of evidence and links out to open letters, death tolls. So literally, you can click on links and it'll take you to things, but it does the walkthrough of, is this the right one? Hang on, there's this one and there's one more. Hold on, let me grab the other one. This is the other one. Israel admits to immense amount of friendly fire.
Yeah, friendly
from
fire.
December 12th.
Holy crap, look at those cars.
Right.
Yeah,
that's definitely from helicopter fire.
Yeah, that's Apache fire, not RPG, not Yasim 105s, which is the self-propelleds that they have.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but there was this article, and then the other one I just had up. It talks about how Lieutenant Colonel rushed to Be'eri with 2 tanks that morning. We went from house to house to free the hostages. In the kibbutz, and so you can see, like, these are from the tanks hitting the houses in Be'eri.
Yet they tried to claim that was from the, quote, Hamas terrorists. That's what they tried to claim. But the amount of damage, there's no way. You don't do that amount of damage with pew-pews.
Look, we've seen an abundance. We've seen an abundance of videos of how H group fights in Gaza, right? How many videos have we seen of H group members hitting Merkava tanks, right? We have seen the damage that their weapons would inflict on tanks. Nothing that we have seen from the capabilities of the H group has the ability to do this kind of damage, man. It is so obvious. This kind of damage come from advanced weaponry. It doesn't come from primitive weapons that I mean, for fuck's sake, the rockets they used on October 7th, the most damage that those rockets have done was a little bit of debris here and a little bit of debris there. How come their personal weapons would be able to inflict the damage that we have seen in the picture with all those damaged cars? Like, nothing makes sense about that.
None whatsoever. And besides that, you know,
prolonged artillery, and this was a guerrilla operation. So I mean, they didn't come to that area with a healthy barrage of shoulder-mounted rockets. That didn't happen. Occam's razor. What's the most likely solution? Israel is lying. That's always the go-to.
I mean, they did.
Israel
Listen. They had homemade paragliders. They had boats full of people, and they had people in motorcycles on trucks, all breach and land outside of Gaza within a 3-minute window.
And managed to go back to Gaza with more than 200 hostages. Don't forget that. They managed to go back into Gaza with more than 200 hostages.
Yeah. No, like the planning that went into Al-Aqsa flood was incredible. Like, please do not, I know it's easy. Like, we know that Israel knew, right? But they didn't plan this. Like, please do not take this away. Like, this was all Palestinian resistance.
It was a brilliant operation that will be taught in political science lectures in universities. I promise you. You can never take that away from them. They successfully executed it in flying colors.
Could it have been stopped?
Yes.
Very likely. Because you know that they had the plans to do this. That being said, it wasn't the demon state that like actually put this together. This was all like Palestinian resistance factions.
Yahya Sinwar. May he rest in peace.
And let me read some real quick. This is from leaked audio. I don't have the actual audio, but I have the quotes from it. Leaked audio. Heated meeting.
But
what?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Dr. AM is asking me to translate. Do you
well, I'm talking, and so I'm not going to be interrupted by a guy that is and here I'll just fix that real quick. All right, we'll take care of that. Yeah, I mean, because Jesus, hold on, and see now I lost my fucking train of thought. That really irritates me. Oh fuck! Now I've got to find it again. Give me a second.
It was up towards the top. Netanyahu
Jesus
has an
fucking
angry
Christ.
conversation with hostages angry at Netanyahu.
No. The here it is. I found it. It's the quote from the actual audio right here. A female abductee freed with her children but without her husband who remains in captivity is heard on one recording saying, quote, "The feeling we had there was that no one was doing anything for us. The fact is that I was in a hiding place that was shelled and we had to be smuggled out and we were wounded. That's besides the helicopter that shot at us on the way to Gaza." They were shooting at them, including the fucking hostages, because they knew that if they unalived these hostages, they'd just blame it on Hamas. And that would increase the number of casualties.
So there was a Colonel Nof, N-O-F, Erez, E-R-E-Z, had said that October 7th was a, quote, mass Hannibal. He told this to Haaretz.
Yep. They'll unalive themselves if it pursues, whatever agenda it is that they have in order to stop the attack. And yet they weren't doing it to stop an assault. They were doing it to create a narrative because I think they knew it was coming and they were like, yeah, that's fine.
They also,
let's go on vacation.
There's one other article from Liberation News, and this was the one I was actually looking for, that talks about how they went from house tank to tank. So they went from house to house in the kibbutzes with a tank. They cite survivors at the kibbutzes, actual statements that they gave. They talk about one of the military bases was overrun, and the commander actually asked them to boom their own military base, which took out several military people. It talks about how there was Apache stuff at the Nova Festival. Like they were using the Apache at the Nova site. It wasn't
There was
just
an Apache there.
Oh, like
already.
rides?
like they were pew-pewing from the helicopter the music festival area. You can actually see this.
Right.
In some of the videos, you can see that the trajectory of the projectiles is straight down from the sky.
Yeah, because
the
they
whole
knew.
narrative that we were given is wildly twisted from what we. This is not what I was told. This is
No.
not my understanding of it at all.
Yeah,
well,
it
they
was.
knew that the more people that were unalived, the grander the story, the more they could get, justification from the United States to come in and do what it was. And so they could play victim again. So they go and unalive people in the middle of this to increase those numbers. It's the grossest, sickest fucking thing like ever, almost.
And that was
It's
pre-exposure, That was pre-exposure. So for them, that played, that was beneficial for them. Like, that was when they controlled the narrative, right? That was when the whole world was siding with them. Like, yes, you have the right to defend yourself. Yes, that is a terrible atrocity. Yes, go for it. But just in a few months, just because of their reaction, the whole world saw their true colors. And the whole world decided, no, that's not fair. Like, they
And that's a glimmer of
made
hope.
their own bed.
Crazy. Anyway, guys, I'm about to wrap up. I appreciate all of you, like for real. And Rando, thank you for bringing that in. I hope you get finished with that so that you can share that.
That seems like a great resource.
Once I finish it, I think I'm going to open a whole live where I'm literally going to go through minute by minute and talk about what happened that day, because the narrative that we were fed is not what happened. It was literally a military operation. It was not a T attack. They didn't just bust over the fence and start unaliving. I have videos of them. I have videos of age group members taking care of babies. Literally, they were like, oh, well, they unalived all the babies. They didn't. I have videos of them taking care of them. I mean, granted, they just unalived their military parents.
That's what I always wondered. I never got much of any information on how the hostages were treated.
Very well, actually, in most cases, except for the ones that were unalived by the I-State in the airstrikes, which I've independently verified 35 of them.
Yeah, because it didn't serve that purpose to mistreat and unalive hostages. Like, then you don't have your hostages anymore. That's
I believe I believe there was one POW who was like executed by somebody who was holding him, and age group came out and took accountability and like reprimanded. I think they unalived him.
Yeah, and even that they were pushed to do that.
Something Israel would never do.
They held themselves accountable. There was one incident that I was able to verify, and I'll cover that. But they held themselves accountable, unlike.
And see, Israel will point at them. See how terroristic they are. Look what they did, and they even unalived their own people.
Well, they managed to They managed to unalive all the leaders of that T group. Yet they didn't get any of their objectives met. They managed to unalive all these innocent people and all these quote-unquote theists. Nothing happened, man. The status quo is still not changed over there. The people of Gaza will not leave and will never leave. They need to understand that.
Well, the world is starting to wake up, and thank goodness for that. But with that, guys, thank you all so much. I really do appreciate all the continued support. I hope to see you all later. It's always a pleasure. To those in the comments who've been tapping, we got to 110K. Thank you so much. I missed the 100K mark, but that's awesome. I really do appreciate it. And we will catch you guys, I guess, probably tomorrow. We'll see you later. Peace.
See you. Take care, brother.
Thank you, Loudmouth.
Thank you.